Oh, what a beautiful day to pod. We are back. I get my Snoop step going.
Get them shoulders moving. Get them shoulders moving.
You know what I mean? My West Coast drink going. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. We are back. It's Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. I'm your host as usual, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital.
Yes, sir.
And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What's good, baby?
Listen, man. Like you said, man, I walked outside. I ain't gonna lie. The sun hit a motherfucker. And I thought about, should I come back inside today?
It's the dedication I'm talking about.
I ain't gonna lie. I almost ended up at City Island.
No, it's definitely a lobster tail and
Definitely a lobster
pina colada
tail.
day with the douce.
What? Or a good margarita?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what I said?
Ty, we rock with you, Ty. You my guy.
You know what I said? I said, you know what? It can wait till tomorrow.
That's it. Wednesday. Oh yeah, you outside. You outside. You gonna let them know what's good?
I'm outside all week.
Let them know what's up. Let them know what's up. Let the fans know in case they bump into you out there. What's up?
Hey, I mean, for all our live fans, this is live, man. We going out to Mocha Fest. They just left. I think they was in DR and then they did Houston. You know what I'm saying? And now it's gonna be in Jamaica. So if anybody's out there, it's gonna be a couple concerts and stuff out there. If anybody was out there last year, man, last year was a zoo V, not a movie, a zoo V. You hear me? So this year we going out there, man. Yeah, man. This year we going out there to do more of the same, man. Rest and relaxation, some fun in the sun, man, and just enjoy life, man. We can't forget to enjoy what we work so hard for, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Other than that,
message.
I'm saying, remember what I said, man. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I beg you. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you. Do not take for granted the fact that you think that you have as much time as you know that you actually don't have. You understand? Time is not guaranteed to nobody. Yes, we can work hard. Yes, we can plan and we can strive, but please take the time to take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually.
Message.
In the moment, right? Because tomorrow is not promised, right? And I would hate to see, and I've seen and we've talked about it on the show. We've had too many situations with too many people that have worked for decades of their life to provide for their family, and right when they were gonna retire, right when they thought they were gonna get a chance to get the fruits of their own labors, they end up tragically passing away. So, ladies and gentlemen,
early
please take the time. Yeah, man. I'm just saying, because we're not getting on no soapbox, Todd, but this type of shit is important. You know why? Because money is good, but money if you sick means nothing.
Facts.
Money if you can't enjoy it is it's like this, a napkin. Look, it's a piece of done.
Fugazi.
You understand what I'm saying? It means nothing, right? So we got to get back to taking care of ourselves as human beings, right? Our health, spirituality, our mental mindset. You know what I'm saying? That way we can enjoy whatever level of success we get to, and we can enjoy it with our family and our loved ones, man. We got to do it.
That's what it's for, man. With that being said, that's an early gem for y'all, and shout out to y'all, the listeners, the followers, the subscribers across every platform, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, the love. We're growing and glowing every week because of y'all, man. And once again, like Cuzzo said earlier, man, we grinded for y'all to give the information back to y'all so we can be empowered to do what we need to do. So if you're a first-time listener, this is what we do. We take people, we interview successful people like this brother we're about to interview today, and we hear about their journey, the real journey, and we give that information back because we're all more than a title and we all got value. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, shout out to y'all, and also shout out to our distribution partners, the Live Podcast Network. If you more content like More Than the Title from Black content creators, make sure y'all download the app, scan the QR code, and your subscription, half of your subscription goes back to the content creators of your choice. Not a lot of platforms are doing it, and it's the first women-owned, Black-owned in the world. Gotta get that up, some love, man. Shout out to Angel and the team. We love y'all. We home team. You know what I mean? They doing their thing. You know what I mean? Proud to be on the team. Proud to be on the team. You know what I'm saying? With that said, we have to get to the.
Let's start the show.
Let's give this brother the proper introduction. You know what I mean? So this brother is just not just a channel sales leader, and we're gonna get into more what that means. But he's a trailblazer in the IT and telecommunications industry with over 18 years of experience under his belt. And as the founder of CEO of Optical Diversity, he's on a mission to revolutionize the tech world by driving diversity in the channel sales industry. Let's introduce our brother Ty Smith.
Hey, how we doing?
Yo, hold on, time out.
What's good?
Time out.
What's good? He's a time. Hold up. Time out.
You caught me off guard with that shit. Because normally the intro's damn near a full minute long. So
I know I was gonna go, but I was like, nah, it's kind of like I'm doing this like the same thing. He got a lot of accolades. I'm like, I'm about to get to the shits because people don't know what channel sales is. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be like, oh shit, channel sales. He did the what in channel sales?
Okay, because I was mentally preparing myself to start hitting the horn every time you start hitting the accolade and you stopped, and I kind of was in like, wait a minute, it's hope like
this is what happens when y'all test in real time. We didn't have a quiz on this. We didn't have a cue card. We don't.
Because I'm like, I know his accolades is crazy, so I'm just ready for you to go. That's why I sat back. Let's go.
Nah. We about to hit him with the accolades in the interview. We're gonna test them out. But
ladies and gentlemen, before he even gets started, we're gonna change the title of this show to More Than the Perfect 10. Mr. Ty Smith has the perfect. I don't give a fuck. I'm complimenting you, but you got the perfect fucking Hawaii 5-0 television. I woke up.
That's real though, bro.
You are glowing, my guy.
You got the almond brown.
What is your listen, I have no problem complimenting people. Yo, that's some.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know they say women are glowing. My man, you are fucking literally glowing in this. But like, yo, let me get off. I don't ask for a lot, but if you could pass on that skincare regimen, I would like that. That's the Bruce Leroy in real time, boy.
That's real talk, bro.
God damn, Ty, you living good, huh? It's showing.
It's showing and glowing. This is what we mean, y'all, when growing and glowing. This brother got it in real time. Pay attention, y'all.
I appreciate it.
Ty said, I ain't starving.
Fashion session, skincare, first period.
God damn.
But what's good though, my brother?
Look what Hayes said. Look what Hayes said.
Yo, that was nuts. Yeah, we both deserve it.
I appreciate the realness.
My fault, Ty. We both deserve it.
Listen, I stand by it, man. We can compliment each other, no problem, man. You don't feel offended that I complimented you, do you?
No, nothing wrong with that, and I appreciate it. I mean, I'm happy to be on the podcast with you all. Like you guys are representing, and it's cool to. I mean, I'm from the East Coast originally, so it's cool to actually be talking to people like from New York and everything. So yeah, now it brings me back to when I was a kid. So
love, bro. We're on the East Coast. We're on the East Coast.
So I grew up in Boston.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I know it's not the middle.
I don't know, man.
Bastards.
Let me ask you a question, Ty. Right, and I know you laugh about this a lot, right? You ever realize when you're in Boston and you bring up New York, how the mood changes in the room, and then when you're in New York and you bring up Boston, how the mood changes? Everybody could be all happy. She's like, yeah, man, where you from? You looking good. Boston, yeah, Boston.
Yeah, it was good to that point.
Yeah.
Boston. A week ago.
No, absolutely. People took that stuff way too seriously.
Yeah, nah, bro. It's all love, man. Yeah. So wait, when did you go on the East Coast? Tell us about the segue into growing up. What was growing up on the East Coast, and I know now you're on the West Coast and all that. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I grew up in Boston, basically like by the Cambridge area. So both my parents, came up there, and they both actually worked in the telecom industry. So my mom was like just an admin assistant. My dad was like just doing like just installs, and so I just kind of grew up mostly just like in a Caribbean neighborhood. So my mom's from Barbados, my dad's from Honduras. So just the whole area was just a really cool place to be. Just a lot of culture. I mean, it's just very similar to being on, in any neighborhood in New York. You had your bodegas, you had your place to get your beef patties. It was just like that type of community. I mean, sadly, that community doesn't even exist anymore because of gentrification. But being there, I was just regular kid, just playing basketball in the park and all that. I never knew I was going to get into the telecom industry, but I guess everything just kind of happened that way. My original passion was like music and rapping and hip hop and all that stuff. And obviously I didn't make it. Obviously I don't look like I could have made it, realistically.
I see you as like a childish Gambino type rapper.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I can see that as your style.
Beginning, bro. Listen, if we just
over.
he got the faux hawk going.
Yeah.
That's marketable.
This is the edge that you need, in order to be a rapper. So.
Listen. All we got to do is get you the starter kit, get you a couple Cubans.
Couple of Cubans, 1 or 2.
Get you a nice glowy watch. You be all right.
Nice little name. You throw a bunch of thugs behind you.
You know, he kind of gives me like Weekend vibes. The Weekend.
Yeah, now you do. You do.
Yeah. Weekend is dope as shit, bro. Yeah. Let me ask you a question though, Ty. Have you ever and I know a lot of people that, and I don't want this to sound funny, but I know a lot of people of Caribbean descent that's actually never been back to the island of their heritage. Have you ever been back to like Barbados and stuff like that?
Yes, I've been to both. So I've been to Barbados and Honduras and the whole coast and all that. So yes, I'm not one of those.
Okay, no, the reason I asked that is because I'm part Cuban. You understand what I'm saying? And I've actually never been to Cuba. Obviously, despite despite they had the embargo and you couldn't go for a long time. But I would love to actually go to Cuba and walk around Cuba and try to meet one of my cousins or somebody from Cuba and see and meet my family out there. So that's why I asked, because it's very important to get in touch with your roots, man, your heritage, and actually visit where your lineage comes from to understand why your parents were the way they were. What you think, Jarrett?
Hey, bro, I think that would be dope content if we did go.
Yeah,
I think that would be dope. Just go on a random trip before they do close it off in Oland. Just go see what happens.
Which one do you like better, Honduras or Barbados?
I mean, they're both different for different reasons, Okay. So in Honduras, like my family was on the coastline, so it's very tropical over there. It's very similar to a Caribbean island if you really think about it. It's the same. I mean, it's the same people. Like when you look at like the genealogy, it's how people got from Honduras as they came originally from Jamaica. Like it was kind of like that. It was a port for Jamaica essentially. So like my dad speaks full Spanish, looks just like me. Like people don't know that he can speak, full, Spanish. I can't really speak it. I can understand it. But yeah, I think that they're both unique in their own ways, depending on type of vibe. I mean, like Barbados is famous for their parties and their carnivals and all that. So.
I love Barbados. I was hoping you said Barbados. I was
gonna say, when you say you speak and understand it, is it like me, like I can verbs? Do you really understand that shit? Because that's the same shit I say, but I only know a couple of verbs, but I kind of guess.
Yeah. Well, so I can understand enough to know what people are talking about. In terms of speaking, if I speak it, I sound like I'm in first grade. So I speak it very, very slow. So I usually don't do it because it just kind of like annoys people because it takes a lot of patience.
Well, you know what it is, Ty. Let me help you out a little bit. Don't feel so bad on yourself because there's so many different dialects of Spanish that even if you were fluent in Spanish, there still could be dialects that you don't understand, right? Perfect example, coming from the East Coast, I'm used to Spanish and Dominican versions of the Latin language of Spanish, right? Spanish, but not the Spain version, right? When I went to boot camp in California, I got introduced to the Mexican version of Spanish, which to me is almost a completely different dialect. Because a lot of the stuff they were saying, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, yeah, you don't know what that is. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not how you say it. And they're like, well, this is how we say it out here. So you know what I mean? I think once you just get a baseline for it and you can just understand the majority of it, I think that's good enough, bro. And then you can just kind of figure out where they're going with the conversation and just kind of feeling it. But there's so many different dialects at this point, bro. It's almost impossible to understand every fucking body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
No verbiage.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know why I want to do it too, Ty, because I feel like I'm not being funny, but I feel like I'm super connected to my African American side of the family, but not my Latin side of the family. So yes, my last name is Latin, and I acknowledge it. I've never told anybody that I wasn't Latin. I always acknowledge it, but I'm not connected to them. In my family, I'm probably the one that speaks the absolute most Spanish. Like my mother is Spanish and she refuses to speak Spanish. Like my aunt, nobody wants to talk Spanish. So it's like, I'm not even as fluent as I used to be because I don't use the language as much anymore. Yeah. So as you don't talk it, you start to lose it. You know what I mean? But and on my side, even my son, I told my son the other day, I was like, but when you gonna learn Spanish? She's like, my girlfriend's teaching me. So let me hear something in Spanish. She says, I said, yeah, you need a lot of practice.
My boy doing it. My boy gonna get it. CJ out here.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I think it's important for us to really, truly, know our heritage, both sides of the family, and dive deep into where you come from, because that's ingrained in you, and it helps you to understand why you do the things that you do, and the reason that you are the way that you are, right? The lessons that your parents teach you, understand where those lessons come from.
Yeah, that'd be a dope ass pod. Not to go off topic, because we about to get into the shit, but that'd be a dope ass pod. Like, say we do a 23-and-1. We said this shit before on the show. We do a 23-and-1, see where the roots are, and actually go to the place, and actually go see the shits, and actually go do the shit and meet the family. That's fire, bro.
You know what? If you want to do something like that,
ass concept.
Let's set it up, and we can both take the what you call
the 23-and-1 or whatever that shit's called.
And we can do it for content and put up the family tree and start mapping it out, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And I don't want to put a plug in, but if y'all anybody listening and want to see some shit on Netflix, that Ashley Madison shit, y'all seen that shit?
No, I didn't even hear about it. What is that?
Oh, yeah, I'm just give you a quick look. I'm watching this shit right after the show.
Okay.
But it's Ashley Madison shit. I gotta watch the last episode. But it was a website like Match.com was for married couples to go find somebody to have a side, like a one-night fling with. And it had 150 million customers.
What's the website?
Ashley Madison. That's what I'm trying to bro. They had a data breach. They got hacked. And they got put on ransom, bro. Put on ransom. The company shut down.
Wait. Married couples is looking for a side piece to come just knock it out the park.
Yo, bro. Stories is crazy. I'm just saying that, but there's a lot of marketing and business tactics in there, and a lot of lessons in there. So anybody listening, if y'all want to hear some business marketing and what not to do for a website and for a brand that had mad potential, was about to IPO go public. Woo!
Message. Listen. Only on More Than the Title will we relate everything back to business.
Everything back to business. That's it. What is it about? Hey, but speaking of business, bro. But when did you start? I know you got the influence from mom and pops, right? They both were in telecommunications. What was that first job like? What was that first initial opportunity like? How did you get into this, and how does it become a passion?
Yeah. So essentially, from growing up in the Cambridge area. So for high school, I didn't go to school in Boston. My parents split up, so my mom wanted me to kind of go away from the inner city, because people were getting jumped for their sneakers, and all sorts of stuff was happening. Same stuff that was happening in New York was happening in Boston, basically. So she moved me out to the suburbs out there, and over there it was totally different. I mean, like I'm like basically right near New Hampshire, just right on the border over there. And that's kind of where I got my first job, and I was still doing music. Like I wanted to still get into hip hop and music, so I actually decided to work at Radio Shack, because growing up, I saw that as a music store. I didn't realize that most of the equipment that was being sold was actually like kind of telecommunications related equipment. Like I was just like, hey, if I work here, I could get discounts on like my wires, and I could build a little recording studio in my bedroom and all of that. So that's kind of what led me into Radio Shack. But then when I realized that they were just paying like just flat hourly, like, we're talking federal hourly. So, close to the state wage, whatever it was at that time, $7.25. I realized that the only way to get commissions and make above that was really to sell telecommunications. And that's where, I found out that they had a program you could sell Comcast services while you're a Radio Shack associate inside the store. You could sell cell phones, you can sell, all different types of telecom related products and services. So that's really where I kind of dove into that, because I wanted to make more than the, $7.25 an hour. And that's kind of was what like my first case on how to talk to a customer, how to talk to someone walking in that wants to get a battery, how to ask them the right questions and convert that conversation into the internet service that they have at home or the phone service that they have at home. And then how to just present without, forcing somebody, just present the options and show them the other things that are available while they're in the store, while they're waiting for something to load up, show them a couple things. So I was pretty much getting into that. And I worked there for quite a while. I mean, it was about like 7 years of doing sales there. And it wasn't until this was like right around the holidays, there was someone that was trying to buy like a toy truck for his son. And I was trying to get him to buy Comcast services. And I didn't realize that he actually worked at Comcast. And, you really like that. So
that's how it be.
Yeah. So
he probably was like, yeah, sell me on a service. Tell me about it.
Yeah, basically.
I like this guy. This guy's good, this guy.
Yeah, and you kind of hit me with the like, how long have you been here? And it's like I've been here for 7 years. He's like, so you've been here for 7 years selling Comcast. Like, why don't you just work at the Comcast office that's like 10 blocks away? And I
Right.
didn't even realize there was a Comcast office 10 blocks away. Yeah, and they had a sales call center there. People there were making really good money. So, he told me there was a job fair coming up. He said I should go down there and just talk to the recruiters. And I just took his word for it. I went down there, spoke to the recruiters. Had a choice of either like inbound sales or outbound sales. I chose inbound sales, and then from there got into
quick breakdown for people who are not sure what inbound and outbound sales,
Yeah.
right? Inbound sales is when the leads of the business actually come to you, and you as a salesperson has that layup. Like they came in, they raised their hand for services, and now you're going to take the meeting to close the deal and make your money, your commission, right? Outbound is when you're hunting. Is when you're actually going to find the business and find the customers, which is much harder and much more difficult. So just want to show everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I didn't really have any experience doing any phone hunting. So I was just like, all right, inbound sounds a lot easier. It sounds like what I'm used to because I'm used to people walking to the store, asking questions and converting them. So that's why I chose inbound. And with inbound sales, that was like my first taste of like a real kind of corporate job in a corporate office, badging in, getting the company donuts and all of that, having your
you chose inbound, smart man.
Yeah, and it was my first taste on actual like kind of corporate money, like just having a salary and commission and all of that, and the luxuries of what I can actually do with that. So that kind of got me down this path of traveling, going different places, ended up meeting different people in different locations. Met someone at the time that she wanted to move to California to go and live the California life. And me being in Boston and never having experienced like the West Coast, I just saw this opportunity of like, hey, like, I'm dating this person at that time. Let me transition. Maybe there's a cable company over there in California, and I'll just take what I learned here at Comcast and transfer over there. So that's how I got from Comcast to Cox. I was at Comcast for a little over a year, and I switched over to Cox Communications in San Diego, just so I can live like that, like beach life, basically.
Are you still with her?
No. Yeah.
Reversed it. Don't be pussy whip. Whip that pussy. Look.
I'm sorry. That was a layup.
Ty, listen, Ty. We gonna talk about the fact that you uprooted your whole life. We can't
because you my brother. You our guy.
We can't run past that. I hope she was special because you uprooted your whole life. Like
you say, I want to live the beach life. You have to try to live the beach life, brother.
I mean,
I ain't mad at it. Yeah, Hallie. Yeah, Erica, you got the Eric Benet joint. Yeah, the Hallie. I ain't mad at you, dog.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty big move at that time because at that time, like I never left the time zone. I've been up and down the East Coast at that period, but I never went anything beyond like the East Coast time zone. So going all the way out to California was a very, very, very like just big jump, basically. So after that, being at Cox in California and then seeing like just how lifestyles was over there, I also didn't realize that when you move to different areas that you get paid the wage of those locations that you work at. So San Diego's wages totally different than Massachusetts. So going out in San Diego, they're paying 3 times more than what I was making over at Comcast, easily for just a call center job. And just seeing these lifestyles of these people, and it was just a different world I got exposed to. But that didn't last for that long because that call center ended up closing after about a year. So, and that's because of cost doing business. They consolidated all their different call centers into 3 locations, the least expensive locations probably at that time, and that's what kind of led me to Vegas because they kind of basically said, hey, if you go to Vegas, you get this relocation package, this money to move. Yeah. And then because I became the number 1 salesperson at that office before I left, I was offered a promotion to be a supervisor over in Las Vegas. So that's kind of what led the transition out into Las Vegas.
Fire, bro. And so, but it's a lot of gems you just said right there, right? right? One with the cost of living going up, right? The price is going up, right? Just tell people what the opportunity. You said the lifestyle, right? You saw that the lifestyle that they were living based on this call center job. Just paint the picture. What was that lifestyle that people were living based off of this new opportunity? Because some people don't even know call center jobs exist and what you can do. What is the opportunity like? Is it fruitful? You know what I mean? I would love for you to break that down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, so I would say at that time, so this is we're dating it back to 2013, and numbers are still very close to the same, in terms of back then. But Massachusetts, if you're working at a call center, whether it was cable or even if you're doing retail, you're making about maybe 50 a year total with commissions and all that, maybe 60, maybe 70 if you're a top performer, but like not anything like crazy. But when you're going out to California and San Diego, because of the cost of living, because it's just an expectation that you have to pay people more so they could survive and live out there. There are people in the call center making 150, 160, 170 as just call center workers. There are people in retail making upwards of 130, 140. Like the people that when you go and return your cable box, that person that takes that box from you, those people were up in the hundreds as well. So like it was.
I ain't know that shit. I'm about to return. He said, "What?"
Yeah.
So return a box.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna hold you.
I ain't know that. I ain't know that was the number.
Shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So
wow.
it was a totally different world, like just over there. And I got pushed into this lifestyle of these people that they were living on the beach. They were getting off at 5, going surfing. Doing like just living that California life, like waking up, skateboarding and before they go to work, driving to work in the convertibles, like all the stuff you could like imagine as like just quintessential Southern California sales workers. Like I got to see all that for the very first time and see, kind of like the other side of America, But then coming over to Vegas, things change because like, with these companies, these types of like high commission jobs, they don't really last forever. Like people get in with these jobs and these companies pay X amount of dollars for a certain period of time, maybe for 2, 3, 4 years until someone comes in, they hire a consulting company, they hire Accenture or Deloitte or, one of those companies to come in and look at their finances and say, hey, it doesn't make any sense that you're paying these call center workers this amount. It doesn't even make sense you have this office. You could just move everybody here and pay everyone the wages of this city. And that's essentially kind of what would happen when we took 17 call centers and consolidated into 3 different ones. And that happened in a lot of places, a lot of call centers that closed down in Southern California during that period and just all over California. If you talk to a lot of people, you don't really hear about people having like call center jobs in Cali. It's not a popular thing that you hear, especially in these areas.
I was gonna say, but not to interrupt you, bro, but call centers in general, that game has evolved, and I think there's a beautiful lesson in that, right? Like once again, right? If you were a business like Cox or Verizon, something like that, you had a call center that had 100 people, right? And their sole purpose was to get and call American citizens and call you on the phone and get you to purchase product, right?
Yeah.
That sales philosophy is done, especially in B2B, that's done. Right, where you can't do that, right? And with the evolution of AI and all the things that's happening right now, it's only going to get worse and worse, right? So those jobs are going to be obsolete very soon. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a major thing. So that's a lot of savings for a company in the business, right? And so if you're in a sales job too, you said something else, right? You guys got to think about your base salary and your OTE. What you're negotiating is your OTE. Those are your end of year all your earnings, right? All together with your base salary and your commissions, right? Your OTE is your ceiling. So if you're in a sales job and you're negotiating your salary, your OTE is the final max number that you can hit. And you have to negotiate as the salesperson, what do I have to do to hit that max number? And then you have that negotiating power. So I just want anybody who's going into sales to know that.
Yeah, 100%. And really got to find out like what the top performers are doing. I mean, I think the reason why I was able to be number one at that particular period was, I did something kind of bold when I first started at that job. Like I know anyone in Southern California when I moved there, other than the girl I was dating. So I just remember like one of the first days of getting off the new hire class, I'm there at lunch and everyone's saying, hey, this guy's the top performer. This guy makes $170,000 a year. This is the man right over here. So I saw him at the lunch table with all these other, top performers all sitting next to each other, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, So I take and I put it right next to them. I'm like, hey guys, like I heard you guys are the top people. Like, well, what are the tactics that you guys use? Like, I was completely shameless with it because at this point, I'm here to make money. Like I'm here to find out. And if you guys are doing something, I have a right to know what that is. So so that's basically what I did. And I didn't realize at that time that that's something that a lot of people don't do. Like most people, when they get into these companies, they just talk to like whoever's in the new hire class, and that's like their new friend group. They don't go to like those top performers, those OGs, and pull up on them and really kind of force them to kind of give them like the playbook of, hey, what are you doing? What are like literally what are the words that you're saying? And yeah, and I remember that those first few days of just like sitting next to them, like, hey, I had a customer that said this. What do you usually say? I had a customer that said, they want internet only. They don't use cable because they have Netflix. What do you usually say? Like, I was just giving them all the different terms.
Problems.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and just taking them down and actually going out and executing. And I was one of the only people doing that. There's a lot of other people in my new hire class. So new hire class had like 20 plus people, and it was just me at that table with like 7 of the top 10 people, because I was one of the few people that was actually bold enough to actually pull up on people and actually do that. But that was like the precursor of finding out the actual statements that people are using to, convert these people that are calling in for one thing and to get them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And bet on yourself and be bold. And I'm going to give you something, because that's such a huge gem, because we're both in sales. So I'm going to fill this out. And I'll give you a quick story, right? Same thing with me. When I got into sales, when I was in ad sales, I looked at people who were the top 1, 2, and 3. Like, who's doing the what, right? Because when I got in there, I had raw talent, right? Because I was fucking doing mortgages, and I was making 300 dials to get no, to be told no every day for 2 years straight. So by the time I got to ad sales, you said no, cool, next one. I'm gonna get me a 1. You know what I'm saying? And then I looked at them, and I ended up getting a niche for me was the home theater market. I ended up closing 75% of what's on Yelp from home theaters, and I would put their ads on hometheater.com and Better Homes and Gardens and HGTV, and I would put their ads there right next to home theater installation articles. And I'm like, I'm closing 50 of these to do what these dudes do in 3 calls. Why the hell am I doing all of this work? And they come in and hit it with a banger, 60,000, boom. I just made 60,000 calls to get that 60,000, and then we became cool. So I want to definitely say shout out to Steven Zantilli, Santo Polanco. Like, them dudes pulled me aside, like, yo, Jay, this is what you need to do. You're nice, but this is what's up. This is the problems. This is the complex problems we're solving here. This is how you navigate that. This is how you talk to the customer. This is how you really get the real problem, because there's a problem, and then there's a real problem, especially in sales, right? And you have to develop that, and it's a skill set to get that and extract that out of a customer, right? So I'm definitely like, that's an invaluable gem, right? Anybody saying that, like, talk to the people. If you go into sales, talk to the 1, 2, and 3. What are they doing to implement that into your game? That's valuable gems, because a lot of people are gonna go to that 1, 2, or 3 because of their pride and their ego, and they think they can do it better. And why reinvent the wheel?
100%.
See what Hayes says with the national average, man.
Shit,
that's
woo.
I like it.
Falling between 45 and
195.
But out there, it's nasty in San Francisco right now. They have to close down Salesforce. Salesforce is one of the biggest B2B companies in the world. They have to close down the headquarters out in San Francisco because of the homeless problem. They said it was too much drugs, too much everything. They wouldn't allow workers to come into the building because it was too dangerous. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I ain't even hear about that. That's crazy.
They had to close the office down, bro. They not letting people come. It was too crazy. It was too dangerous.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
San Francisco right now.
Yeah,
once again, though, ladies and gentlemen, what Ty has effectively done already is to show you that there's so many ways out there to make not a decent living, but a really good living. $195,000. I don't care how many videos you watched. I don't care who's your favorite rapper. Annual salary of $195,000, even in the most expensive cities in the United States, is still a very good salary. You can live very comfortably, and that's a one-person salary. If you get, find a partner that makes anywhere near that, now you're talking almost $500,000 a year, right under $500,000 a year, gross. It's a very good living, considering most people, the poverty line and, what they consider to be poverty is something like 20,000, 30,000.
Talk to them.
You can live very good. And look, that's just being at a call center or, getting with these companies and asking them questions, right? Don't settle. When you get in there, don't settle. That's the message. Don't settle. Get in there and start talking to people, networking with people. Hey man, how do I do this, man? And how do I do that? Don't look at it as, oh, if I ask questions, they're gonna think, I want to take their job. No, you're showing them you don't want to stay at your position forever. It's about growth.
You gotta listen to him. You learn something.
It's about growth. You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you right now, be clear. Like, if anybody's too ashamed to work at a telecommunications company making $195,000, then you really need to reevaluate your life.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. If you think that's not sexy enough that you can provide for your family and not, be struggling, well, let's not say that, because everybody manages their money differently, right? So I know people that make way more than that and still live check to check. But that's the more advanced thing. The less advanced thing is, if you make a decent salary, then you can do things without struggling, because a lot of our inner city problems come from struggling. It comes from the lack of resources, the lack of information, and the lack of money. Plain and simple, right? People don't have decent paying jobs to live even on a I don't even know what you want to call it, man, because I don't really consider poverty like being a standard level. Like, it's substandard. You shouldn't have to wonder where your next meal is coming from. You shouldn't have to go to work for 40 hours a week and have to have a second job and possibly a third job just to pay the rent. I'm just telling you, like, that should not be a way of living that you should, strive for. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, but let me piggyback off that real quick, bro. A lot of people, especially where we come from, and Ty, I know you agree, we don't even see sales as an option. We don't see sales as a profession. We don't know the benefit of sales. And what I'm going to do is break it down right now, bro. And that's the importance of why we wanted to have Ty on. Sales is so important because it's the only profession that you eat what you kill, right? You can make an infinite amount of money depending on what the structure of your deal is like. And it's all about how hard you work. You could be the best teacher in the world. You could be the best anything in the world, doctor, anything, right? I know some people that are making more than the president selling B2B SaaS, making more annually than the president selling B2B SaaS, and it's sales. Is it hard? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it complex solving and situation and negotiating and dealing with all these people, dealing with bosses and superiors and navigating that, knowing Salesforce, knowing different technologies? It's a lot. But you can make 500, 600, 700, 800,000 a year getting into the space. And this is why we talk that talk. And this is why we have the people we have on from the industry we have on, because we don't even see that as an option. You ain't got to be that. Work hard, bust your ass. If you're going to bust your ass, make sure you get a commission out of it. Know your value.
But I think, remember we talked about it being a certain skill set, though, Jarrett. I don't think everybody could be salespeople, but
it can
those
be taught,
that
though.
can.
It can be taught. There's too much. There's tailored programs. There's so many programs. Like talk. I would love to hear your opinion on that,
Jump
bro.
in.
I mean, so I have a theory that I've said, before on different cases, that I think everyone is a salesperson. I think everyone is a salesperson. Everyone can be a salesperson. And I think here's where it happens. Like, when you, like, let's say I'm about to buy a phone right now, about to get a phone company. So let's say I'm like, hey, I'm moving to New York. I'm about to figure out what cell phone company do I need. And I go and just ask random people on the street. I'm going to get some strong opinions on who I should choose. No, don't choose T-Mobile. Choose Verizon. No, don't choose Verizon. Use Cricket. No, don't use Cricket. Use AT&T. Use this. Use that. Like, that strong opinion, that's sales, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like if I go and I need to figure out like what restaurant to take my wife to, and I'm going to be in Brooklyn, on Saturday. And I just go and ask random people, no matter who they are, I'm going to get some very, very strong opinions. And that's sales. Like, all of that is sales. It's just having an opinion on one thing over another and presenting your case on why. And I remember growing up in a barbershop, and you could view that as, or growing up living on top of a barbershop and going downstairs, get my hair cut and everything. And seeing like just the different conversations, people see that as arguing. Like, no, that's sales. Like, it's one person selling the other person on the other thing. Like, hey, no, that this is why Mike Tyson's going to win this fight, over this person. That this is why That's sick.
Yo, my fault, bro. My fault, Ty.
Nah, you pay. Nah, you paid him. Nah,
I swear to God.
no. You don't say nothing. You don't say nothing. You say nothing. Ty, I just met you, bro, but I want you to be completely honest. Did my cousin put you up to fucking say that shit? The Mike Tyson,
no.
did he put you up to say that?
No.
All jokes aside, Ty, because that was perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the universe sending you signals and shit, me and my cousin just had a crazy debate with Mike Barron when he flew in to see us about the Mike Tyson fight. It's filmed. Just put it up as a clip. It's going crazy. So the fact that you just used that shit as an example, I'm like, nah. Jared set that shit up. Ty, don't do that, Ty. Don't do that. Be impartial. Be impartial, Ty. I complimented you on your tan, goddammit. Don't side with my fucking cousin.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. It's a sign that people need to watch it, right? You know.
Yeah.
It's a segue right there.
Yeah, you know, you know what? I can't with that again, like we talk about sales and making your argument. With that type of argument, there's nothing I can say that you're absolutely right, man. Because everything you said is spot on. You ask people about cell phones, you're gonna definitely get opinions. You go to the barbershop and it is debate after debate, political, sports, money, women, everything. You understand what I'm saying? So you're with you coming up with that type of reasoning, I'm with you 110%, man. You're absolutely right. Then I guess with the right training, everybody could be a sales because you're technically you're a salesperson anyway, right? You sell yourself when you want to meet somebody, or you know what I mean?
Anything. Bro, you want to go on a date, you want to land a wife, anything you're doing, you are selling.
Yeah,
that was just a great analogy that you put it. I've never heard it put it that way, bro, but that was a great analogy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But we all sellers. Now, are some better than others? Absolutely, right? Do some have that natural instinct that know when to say what, when to be quiet, when to ask the right question, when to read the room? That's a different skill set. But we all can sell. It's just solving a problem, right? We do that every day, broski, like that. So you ain't gotta be.
And that's crazy and if we talk about selling, you know what I'm saying? You know, Jarrett is normally on it, but I see he kind of falling behind on it today. So
we got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
I fell off.
I know you segue.
I fell off. And he's the segue king. We're going to do this shit. First of all, my apologies, y'all, because if you want to sell anything, you got to sell your own product, baby.
There you go, Jay. Come on, baby.
Sure you get your More Than the Title merch. First of all, Color's going to Jamaica. What are you going to do without his More Than the Title merch? And his mug is going to keep his Henny cold for 2 hours with one ice cube. It's the only mug that's going to rock. You get your beanie, you get your course. And what did Ty say? Relationships. Relationships was a big key, right? Yeah. Open his eyes, made him see life in a different way, end up going out there, meeting different people, getting an opportunity. And we got a how to build relationships and revenue. Make sure y'all download it. Y'all can get it right now for $99.95. And if you code right now, you'll still get it for $99.95. And that's on the real.
That's the reaction. That's the reaction video after hearing there's no discount.
I gotta keep it real. Did you see the fucking clip? Did you hear it?
Oh,
bills to pay.
Oh,
we gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Oh, you lucky we came back.
So one of my I'm not huge into sales like Jarrett is, but one of my first jobs was at a call center. And I tell this story all the time. Like I was still in high school at the time, and it was up in like New Rochelle. And my cousin's father was like the manager of the sales center. So he was like, so I'm like, yo, what I gotta do? He like, come in, everything is scripted. You're gonna call a bunch of people and ask them to take a survey. Depending on, the survey, you make a certain amount of money. Yo, Ty, I ain't gonna hold you. High school, I was already getting it, but shit, I was busting their ass on that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. When them checks started coming in, everybody was like, "What you make?" I show them my check. They look at it. Yo, what the fuck? Hey,
now I work for you. I work for you. You show me where.
No, that's a fact, man. You know what it is, Ty? Have you ever gone to career day in like junior high school or high school? Have you ever went to like a career day?
Yeah.
if you go to a career day, you know what they do? Like most of the time, it's all the generic shit, like police officer, correctional, a lot of city jobs, right? This is what you can do for the city, and then maybe like a doctor, lawyer, but mostly like city jobs. There's not a lot of um outside the box jobs that are presented that can say, yeah, you could be a cop and you can make this and put your life on the line, or you can make double that sitting behind a desk making a couple calls. You understand what I'm saying? I think our career days need to be redefined, especially with the times now, and updated to say, listen, here's your like I think it needs to be sectioned off. Here's your conventional work for the city of New York, blah, 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 or whatever city you're in. Here, you can take that. Here's your more affluent jobs that require, a master's degree, so you could take that. But then here's your unconventional jobs that you might not even know that you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars doing: sales and marketing, advertising, things of that nature, putting your creative talents to use to be able to support your family. You know what I mean? I think we need to we got a lot of work to do, man.
First of all, that'd be a dope thing to do.
That's what I'm saying.
We do a career event, like a workshop, things like different. First of all, we speak to so many people from different industries that we can actually have and actually explain what it is. Right? Like, first of all, a lot of people wouldn't even know channel. How many people right now that are in the hood that are working at a Wingstop, working at this, that, regardless of what it is, right? They're working with a different a franchise company or a big headquarter company, and there's so many different opportunities within that company that they don't even realize.
Yeah, no, that I mean, to segue into like even me finding out about channel sales, I only found out because I walked into the wrong meeting. So like when I went into managing a team and I got into like vendor management. So vendor management is like when you like manage the third-party retailers, like the people that are selling internet, the cell phone stores, or selling internet, like the Walmarts, the Costco's. Like I was managing that program. I remember walking into a meeting because it was for vendors, for people that were doing reselling. And I remember walking in and seeing all these people, and I was the only Black person in that room, and seeing all these people in suits and slick back hair and all that. I'm just like, what room is this? And they're talking about internet, and everyone's wearing these, obviously, like you could tell these were like $500 suits or $1,000. I'm just like, well, who are all these people, and why are all these cars parked in the front, and am I in the right room? And turns out that I wasn't. I asked someone there that I saw that had like a little Cox shirt, and he was like, oh no, this is for channel sales. And I was like, channel sales? He's like, yeah, like third party business. I'm like, third party business? Like what do you mean? Like, so they do what my vendors do. So they do what the guys at Walmart do. They sell internet. Like, well, yeah, they sell internet, but they sell internet to like casinos and hospitals, and they sell internet to restaurants and stadiums, and just like that's the thing. And I was like, and what do you do? He's like, oh, I just manage the relationships. I just make sure they continue to sell. And and then I went down the rabbit hole of like finding out, just like what is that salary? Like, what are those commissions looking like and everything? I'm finding out like, wait, you're doing definitely not the same, like you're doing work that is high stakes, but it's not as physical laborious as what I was doing. Like when I, as a vendor manager, I had to go to like all these Walmarts, all these different stores, drive up, make sure, hey, are you selling? Are you at your table? Are you selling, pitching to every single person walking by? Like I was literally driving across the city, working, getting home at like 9 o'clock at night, start my day at 8 a.m. Like it was a grind. And I'm talking to these guys are just like, yeah, we just sit at our computers and we just wait for, these channel sales partners to go out there and come back with a big internet deal for a hospital or, some big warehouse. And I'm just, and you get paid off that. And they're like, yeah, we just receiving the deals, where we get a percentage, and we just kind of make sure that their deals close and all of that. And I'm just like, yeah, this is something that I have to keep an eye on. And realistically, I wasn't really like get to a role like that, because there's still stuff that you have to learn. Like learning how internet works in the house is different from how internet works in a business. There's different things you got to consider. There's cloud solutions, which is like, how does storage work? Like how does data storage work for businesses? But the pandemic happened, and during the pandemic, all of my third-party retailers that I had, all of my outside salespeople that I had, they all got pulled in, and most of them ended up getting laid off, except for like my team, only because I came up with this crazy idea just off the fly of like, hey, I want to turn like my team into like a test program where I'm going to teach them all sorts of stuff that we never had time to learn. So I'm going to find different things about telecommunications. So when they do go out, when they do go back, they'll be like the top team. And they're like, hey, well, yeah, they're like, we got enough like budget to like maintain like 6 people. So we can do that with your team. But it has to be worth it. Like we're going to sit on those meetings, sit on those calls, and we're going to teach everybody. And
real quick before you go further, what was the KPI to keep the program going? I'm curious.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So there really wasn't at the moment. It was just that like when the leaders came on there, it had to be like really profound knowledge that I was teaching them. So like it was very, very objective and subjective, like how things are when you get to
what's profound? Like what is the how do you value that? How do you judge that versus what you're telling them and teaching them, and when they go out in the field and actually do it on the customer? Like what was that KPI to say this shit is working?
Yeah, this so
revenue.
So it would have been revenue if they had the opportunity to go out, but they were tuckered in, and we had no idea when they were going to go back out. So it was basically going to be like, yeah, in the future, hey, I'm promising you that if you let me have these people, then we're going to have this. We're going to have double the sales or whichever. So they essentially said yes. And what I started doing is I was like, all right, let me find random stuff that I could teach them about commercial internet, because all these kids know about is selling internet to a house. Let me learn about how does internet work in a stadium. Like that guy that I saw in that room, he didn't seem like, that like like these people didn't look like geniuses. Like they look like regular people. So I'm like, if this guy sold internet to a stadium, I can learn how to do that. So I'm literally like finding articles on like, YouTube, finding videos, finding different things. And I literally was making rubrics at night. So I was teaching myself from like 9 o'clock to like midnight and like watching all these videos. Then I'd come back the next day and I'd give them the videos that I watched. And I have a quiz that we have to do at like 12 o'clock and then like 5 o'clock. And, we do like a little recap. And then I was doing it every single day. So like after 5 now, I'm like, all right, I taught them how internet works in the stadium and how the different, you have to have like 150 something Wi-Fi adapters everywhere and how they all network together on a mesh network. And like, just all this like really out there stuff. Then the next day I had to do it again. And it's like, all right, well, how does internet work in a hospital, or what does HIPAA compliant mean? Like like all of this stuff. So I'm just finding random stuff. And then these kids are like 18, 19, 20, 21. I mean, they're learning stuff that like enterprise cloud salespeople like learn. But I kept doing that over and over and over. And, directors were coming into the meetings. They're like, oh, okay, this is worth it. This is interesting. Continue, so over and over every night, putting on random, like my wife is like, what are you watching? Like one of the most interesting ones was like binary code. Like I'm finding out like how binary code works and how your computer decodes the binary code to pop up with images, and how each, bit is a byte, and how the bytes, work with your kilobits per second on your internet, all that stuff. But that essentially led me down the path where I was teaching myself almost everything I needed to know to be a channel manager, to help enterprise people, independent resellers sell internet and cloud services and all of that. And when that role came up during the pandemic, I went to that director. I had to be a little bold and to reach out to the director. Never met the director, but I was just like, hey, I saw this role. I think I know what it is, because I randomly met the previous channel manager. And this is what I'm doing with my team. Like I'm teaching them how wide area networking works, how SD-WAN works, how cloud services relate to telecommunications. I'm teaching them all these different concepts. Is this anything related to this channel sales role? And she was like, you're in residential. Like you are a residential, like, vendor manager that works with like 18, 19, 20-year-old kids to get them to sell internet. And you're teaching them this? Like this is what a channel manager does. Like channel manager teaches this stuff to, some of the top channel partners nationwide and globally. Like teaches this stuff to consulting companies. So yeah, if you're teaching your kids this, and I definitely want to talk to you, let's have a conversation. Let me find out more. And then long story short, I ended up going through the interview paths and all of that, the various rounds, endless rounds, 5, 6 rounds, and end up getting in. And I became one of the youngest channel managers at that time, and one of the first African-American channel managers in the West Coast.
Yeah, I like that shit.
Oh, bro, you got me on the edge of my motherfucking seat right now. First of all, it's so many rabbit holes we could go down, but I do want to know, what is the opportunity to sell internet to a stadium? What does that deal look like?
Whew, yeah. So
You know what I'm saying? Like just to give people some context. If you would have the relationship, right,
yeah.
with somebody that owned the stadium, what does that look like, and what kind of commission they can make? You don't have to tell me. Just give ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, so when you're thinking about like a stadium, you're thinking about the actual internet. So, hundreds and hundreds of gigs of internet that have to flow into that stadium. So, these are each one of these 100 gig circuits are anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 a month, maybe 10,000 a month, depending on if they're, if they're protected, if they're, if it's, there's all sorts of stuff you can do to kind of have internet that's always working. It's like an enterprise kind of fiber internet that you would put into these buildings. And then there's the Wi-Fi adapters. You have to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Wi-Fi adapters everywhere. All of those are going to have a monthly recurring cost of anywhere from $100 a month per adapter to $200 a month per adapter, depending on the company. You want to have some type of security, some type of firewall going on. There's going to always be a corporate office that you have to now mesh the stadium to another corporate office. You have to do like a wide area internet connection and sell that to some corporate office. Ultimately, like it's a ton of money, and partners that can sell stuff like this. I mean, off of one deal, you can make 100 grand off of one deal if you're.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, I think I thought that was low. I thought that number was low. I was
but if you
say something
That's
crazy,
yeah,
like,
that's minimum. That's minimum.
5-10% of the deal, the actual value of the deal may be $1 million, but you're making 10% on the deal, so you're getting 100. That's all right.
No. It's definitely all right. The reason people don't think about it is because, me being in construction and building stadiums and stuff like that, I know that all those deals are made before we even break ground. That's
100%.
not a deal. That's not a, when I build a build, even buildings, right? Even buildings. Before we even break ground, that deal is already done, because we already have to understand it and convey that not only to the electricians, but to the telecommunication staff that comes in, that this is the type of wires, this is what we got to dig for. We got to talk to Con Edison. Like, it's a lot to install something like that. And it's like you said, it's very pricey. See, the reason I wouldn't think of it on a regular level is because the network is so advanced. I would more so think of like a Cisco system. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it's gonna rocky.
Something, correct. Something that's made for something of that magnitude. I wouldn't think that like Spectrum or Cox would be able to come in, because I just, and again,
I don't know. I just wanted to be funny.
I was like, what? I wouldn't think that a company, because every company has tiers of what they work with. And I'm just thinking of that magnitude, like the company might not even use machinery or have machinery available to them that can even do what needs to be done to provide that type of system, because that's a niche market. That's not something that you just kind of hold in the back pocket. That's something that you have to truly invest in on a repeated basis to make sure that this thing is up and running. You understand what I'm saying? So,
but that's a great point, though, bro. Like, you can make a whole business around that.
Yeah.
Right now, if you land one of those deals, now you can employ a couple, 2-3 people. You can have a nice little Nasdaq for some. Like, you could do some things with that, right? So for people who are thinking like, yo, what kind of business I should start? That's just a great avenue for you guys to consider, especially if you know a lot about the systems already. If you already utilize the system, right? If you already think about this stuff, right? You know gigs. If you're good on tech, you're good on networks, you're good on data storage, you're good on all those things, right? Where they holding the information. If you really start getting to the why and actually start solving from bigger problems, you can make a real valuable business, a viable business for yourself and your family, bro. Just offer just businesses that you don't have to come with. Just what? And now, but I got to ask you a question, though, because I'm going to lead to this, bro. What happens if you sell a shit ton? Now, what are the opportunities to talk to the CEO of a Cox, a Spectrum, things like that? Like, what are the opportunities? They say you're a channel partner, you're bringing in $1 million, $2, $3, $4 million. What does the opportunity look like at that point?
Yeah, definitely. Because so basically, and I want to break down the definitions. So you got the channel manager, channel partner. So when we're talking about like channel management, so that is the corporate person that's running, essentially, think of channel like an affiliate program. So everyone's kind of familiar with affiliate programs, how it's like, hey, I'll give you this link, sign up for this, and then I'll get a percentage. I'll get a 5% or whichever. So a lot of companies have some type of referral program. People are familiar with referral programs. this is all the same bucket that we're talking about. We're just talking about this for tech services like telecom and software and all of that. But there's always someone that works at that company that manages that referral program or manages that affiliate program, the corporate employee. So that's the channel manager in this case. And that was me, the role that I got. So I was basically the person that was managing the referral program, or I guess the selling program for the telecom company that had to work with all the different partners. If you want to sell something, specifically in Las Vegas, you want to hit any one of these casinos and use Cox, you have to go through me. I had to basically help out with just making sure that whatever you want to sell can actually work. You got your paperwork right. We're going to do what we need to do, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the other side of that is the partner. The partner, you are just the individual, independent person. Anybody can be a partner. You have to go to college. You don't have to have anything like I can literally walk, like right now, like I'm in Las Vegas right now. I can walk downstairs and walk around these casinos so I live on the Vegas Strip. So I can walk around to the casinos and tap anyone on the shoulder and teach them how they could become a channel partner in like less than 5 minutes. Literally, you sign up, they will say, hey, if by signing this form, you have the ability for free to be a reseller of Comcast, Spectrum, T-Mobile, Verizon, Cisco, Palo Alto Networks, AT&T. The list goes on and on and on. Zoom, like you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies that you can resell. And this is open to anybody. It doesn't matter what you have. You could have something on your record. It doesn't matter. You are just an individual person starting an individual business, which is, whether it's your own sole proprietorship, whether you want to incorporate that in the future, you can, but it's just your name and social as a business, as a DBA, you can just be a reseller. And once you're a reseller, all of these companies, when you start, giving them customers, someone that owns a restaurant and they need internet, you bring that internet company, whether it's Comcast or AT&T or Verizon, to that restaurant, there's a percentage you're going to get, whether that's
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. They had to get the screaming baby for that one.
No. So yeah, you might get 15% of that deal. You might get 10% of that deal. You might get, and we're not talking about one time. This isn't one time. This is residual. So this is residual income. So you get a steakhouse. Steakhouses are going to order typically maybe $1,000 worth of internet because they're going to want, high-end fiber internet, 1 gigs per second, goes for about $1,000 a month in most cities. You sell that. Now you're going to get a residual income every single month of anywhere from $100 to $150 to $200 every month nonstop. You don't have to do anything for that money. It comes every single month just because you help that steak shop get internet. Now that's $200 a month. Okay, cool. What if that steak shop has 100 locations? Now that money is going to now multiply. We're talking from $200 a month to $2,000 to $20,000 a month. That's coming in every single month. You don't have to do anything. Every time they're paying their internet bill, you're just getting a little 10%, 15% cut of that. And you can do that with as many companies as possible all over the USA. Doesn't matter where you are. And you can do it globally with internet companies that you've never even heard of, like Telstra in Australia or Rogers in Canada or Vodafone in the UK or Airtel in Nigeria. Like that's what the partners do. So these partners literally wake up to money coming into their bank accounts from stuff that they sold 5 years ago that continues to come in their bank account. They just compound it over and over and over again. And and the kicker now is that of these partners, who are they? Where are they? What do they look like? Less than 1% of these partners are African American. To give a real stat that Microsoft came out with, when Microsoft is looking at, hey, who are the partners that are reselling Microsoft? They said that 68,000 partners in the USA are reselling Microsoft. They said 324 of them are African American.
Shit.
So when you're looking at that, that's a 0.5%. So when people are like, where's channel sales? Like, I've never seen it. Like, well, yeah, you haven't seen it. Like, I didn't see it unless I walked into a random room that I wasn't supposed to be in, where everyone was kind of looking at me awkward because I clearly looked like I didn't belong in that room because there wasn't any African-American people in the channel just industry in like my particular even region. Like literally like no channel managers, this whole industry is like a hidden industry that's in plain sight. All these places that we shop at, Louis Vuitton, LVMH, You take a place like that, they own Sephora, they own all these different brands. When you take a look at like who's doing their IT, there's a company out in Utah that's handling all their IT, a small company that's getting X percentage, whether it's 10 to 15 or 20, whatever percentage off of every single store's internet, phone, wide area networking services, cybersecurity, cloud services. This checks coming in to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month, to a little small office in Utah. When you look at Cheesecake Factory and Fox restaurants, all those different places that we eat at, we all love the Cheesecake Factories and all of that. Like when I go to Cheesecake Factory, I look at the fact that there's thousands of dollars a month that they're paying on their services. And there's a little tiny company out in Arizona that's getting all of those checks for all of those locations, not just the Cheesecake Factory, everything, the whole thing. Like, Flower Child and North Italia and all of those different restaurants.
Ooh, if y'all not motivated what this man is saying, if you don't, I hope y'all hear it. I really hope y'all hear it, man. Just off of a stadium of a couple of relationships, you can make $2,000, $3,000 a month residual. As long as those relationships are still active, you can make that money and come direct to you without having to do anything. So if you do the initial work up front, build the relationships, make the plugs, sell the deals, you can sit back and make $3,000 a month on those deals and pay whatever you got to pay and whatever the case may be. The more you get, the more. But what is the difference between what you're doing and MLM?
Yeah. So
wait. Define what MLM is first.
Multi-level marketing. So when we talk about MLM is multi-level marketing. So if you guys ever got approached by, remember those the vacation spots? Wish you were here.
Yeah.
You remember them drinks that was there? That's MLM marketing. That's a perfect example, right? So pyramid, exactly. So what it is, you get into the business, boom, you got into the business, and that anybody I bring, if I bring you, Chadeo, if I bring Ty, you guys are part of my pyramid. Anybody who you bring into this system and this network, I'm going to make a residual income off of. The problem is a lot of them MLMs don't have a good feasible product, or it's only like one person that's at the top of the pyramid and not everybody eats. Because what happens? People fall off, life be life, and they don't have the relationships. It sounds good at first. They love the orientation, but don't know how to execute. And it's a lot of different things. You know what I'm trying to say, Ty? And it's a lot of BS. And then they fall into it, and the person at the top is still making the residual income.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked what the difference is for the people listening, is what the difference is between that and that, right? So if I sign on a couple of deals, that's my residual income. But if I put Ty on, I don't get residual for that, do I?
No, so essentially so how this works is like there's no money up front to be a partner. Like there's you can go key. To, there's I can name them all out. There's Intellisys, there's Teleris, Sandler Partners, you got AppDirect, Avant, Innovative Business. You can run that back, Google those. Those are distributors. You can literally reach out to them and ask to join their program to become a reseller. All they're going to do, they're going to put you on a call, 30 minutes, an hour. They're going to let you know how their program works. Hey, you can be a reseller of all these different companies. All these companies pay various percentages in terms of residual. Some pay 10%, 15, 20, and then from there, they're going to give you like a document to sign. Once you sign that document stating that you have the ability to basically bring business to these companies, those companies have a right to pay you. Those distributors that you're signing up with, they're basically managing it to make sure that you're getting paid is how that works. So these distributors are the ones that get you connected to all of these different companies instead of you having to go to Comcast and sign an individual partnership program with Comcast and each one
you're going to an agency essentially that has the relationships already, kind of like, and say, hey, you can sell each one, and you're getting access to each product and the resources to make sure you can sell it viably, and then you go off to the races and they get a piece.
And it costs $0. No one is charging anything on top of that. Once you join, to like, this is the craziest point. When you join, you get trainings. You get trainings resources. They're like, hey, thanks for joining the program. Let's train you up. Here's some free videos you can watch. Here's some trainings you can watch. Hey, we're doing a free training out in this area. You should come down and learn about cloud services. There's a free webinar. Like, they are fully incentivized because every time that you're selling and you can close something, like let's say you close a deal for Comcast, you're getting paid. Comcast is getting paid because they just won a customer, and then that distributor gets a tiny portion from Comcast as well. So like everyone is getting paid. So everyone's all incentivized to make sure that you're selling. So like you're not really selling by yourself. You have an army of people and resources. That distributor provides, many of them provide a sales engineer. So if you run into something really technical in the field,
Technical problem.
hey, I need to redo my cloud services, and I need to go from, just something,
You'll get somebody specifically from Verizon who specializes in that to help you assist in the call and the assistance of the sale.
Exactly. And the distributor will have their own universal sales engineer as well. They can talk about all products, and this is how it works. So initially when I first met these partners, going back to that story, I'm just like, I don't know, these partners, like, they don't seem like experts in all of this. It's because they weren't experts in all of this. They're experts on maybe getting a relationship with a decision maker at a company, but when it comes to the actual technology, I mean, like you'll be surprised. As a channel manager, major entities like here in Las Vegas, like I was a person running the program. There were partners that were reaching out to me that were just like, hey, I'm trying to close this bank. I got the CIO and he's having all these questions about internet, and I don't even know the answer to these. I know you've been working in telecom for years, so you could probably answer. Can I just put you on a call with the CIO and have you close this for me? And because I ran the program, I can't say no, because, like, this is a partner that's bringing business into the telecom company. So I'm literally jumping on this call, closing a deal for the partner, but I have to because the partner brought the relationship in.
I'm sorry, bro. We have to break that down for our audience. I'm sorry, bro, not to interrupt you.
Yeah.
A lot of our audience wonders, like, one of the biggest questions I get into, Jarrett, how did you get in tech? Jarrett, how are you flying over the world? How did you become successful? How did you do all these things, right? And when you're basically introducing the people, it's a program that you can start with zero investment, and they are invested in you making the sale, and you can make residual income on larger brands' money. So you can go to a Verizon, a Cox Business, a Spectrum, any of these big telecom or IT companies, and fill a void without putting in any money, and you could actually make more than some of the people that are actually working at the effing company.
Yeah,
this is the opportunity. I just want people to understand that shit. You ain't got to go interview for that shit. This brother is giving you the chance and the resources to go there, be a boss, and work with them and work on your own terms. I just hope y'all understand that shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop at a number. So when you look at, the second richest African American person that is here in the USA is David Stewart. When you look at, like, David Stewart's path and, like, how he got to where he was, because everyone thinks you got to work up this corporate ladder and all of that. He was an account executive at FedEx. An enterprise account executive. He had relationships. He had relationships with business owners, because when you're account executive, when you're a salesperson, you talk to decision makers. But the internet boom was coming up. This was about 1990, and he gets this crazy idea where he's like, hey, I'm going to leave my job here at FedEx, and I'm going to start a company where I'm going to start reselling internet, because I think people are going to want this internet. And I'm just going to make a website, because this is the .com boom. I'm going to make a website called Telco Buy. I'm going to have all the different internet providers there listed, and then I'm going to get into partnership with these internet providers, and I'm just going to basically give them customers. So any customer that lands on my website, I'm going to refer them to the internet companies, and then I'm going to get a percentage off of that. And that company quickly grew into multi-million-dollar company, quickly grew and got larger into a multi-billion-dollar company, where now he's doing that with Cisco and Microsoft and all of that. And then from there, quickly grew even more to now to the tune where it's Worldwide Technology is the current company, still in existence. It's a $15 billion company, and that is essentially the opportunity that a lot of people have, but many people don't know about that story. So there's a lot of different levels to it, but it starts with just being able to understand that this whole opportunity exists, and people don't realize that, and it's in plain sight. Like almost 50% of the Fortune 500, that's how they're getting their services, not from calling the cable company and all. Like, they have these partners, these people that have the relationship with the chief technology officer at any chain you can name, and they get their internet services from these people that are essentially the plug. Like, hey, you need internet for these 3 locations. Here's the providers. Choose one of these. They're just providing options.
Yeah,
and
I love that. No. I love that, Ty. You know why? Because one thing that you keep harping on, and it's something that we harp on every episode,
Talk
is
about it.
the relationship.
Talk about it.
Relationship, right? The key is being a people person first, right? You got to be a person that is able to talk to people and communicate well, right? Doesn't mean you have to have the biggest vocabulary and try to impress people with, words that are phonetically like, you know what I mean, crazy. No, it just means, are you relatable? Can somebody talk to you and feel like, okay, this person is telling me the truth, right? Can you convey your message to them and say, listen, I'm going to give you the best options and I'm here to help you? And can you just convey that message that I'm here to service you and I'm here to help you? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best part about it. It's the relationship. We talk about that all the time. Your network is your net worth.
But let's take it a step further, right?
Yeah.
Right. Let's take it a step further, right? It's a science to that shit. It's a science to knowing when to make like how to help people and all that stuff. Like there's things we call in sales, and I'm pretty sure you heard this before, Ty. It's called commission breath. I can hear when somebody wants to sell me, and I can hear when somebody wants to solve. And it's a balance between the both, right? You have to know when to walk away from a deal, when to be able to close a deal, when to know this works for you, and when to be able to just give consultative advice. And that's going to take you longer and further in your career than anything else. There's a lot of deals that I could make a lot of money, made it change my life. And I'm like, nah, this isn't right for me. And guess what? They respected me for it afterwards. So I want people that's listening to this shit, it's bigger than that, right? Understand people, like Cuzzo said. Understand people, know when you can do it and know when you can't. It's being real, it's being a good person. Knowing when somebody has when you have your best interest at heart for someone else, they know it. They can feel it. They can sense it in your preparation, how you speak to them, how you go about the meeting, how you do the post meeting. All of that matters. So do it for the right reasons, and promise you it will be difficult, but you will fucking reap the rewards and benefit from it. Straight up.
Yeah, and also education, man. I don't want to. We can't skip past the fact that Ty said that he sat down and he watched videos. I'm just gonna give my take on this right now. Like, if y'all not paying attention to what's going on right now, I'm not saying I don't know the whole inner workings of, let's just call it TikTok, right? But TikTok and YouTube right now is almost the two biggest sources for the most informative information on almost anything that you can think about, you want to know about, man. There are so many do you know how to do this videos on TikTok and YouTube that it is literally teaching people everything from fucking DIY projects in the house to fucking hair care, skin care. It is amazing. And it's funny to me that, all of a sudden you want to take down, TikTok. I look at it as you want to take down TikTok because you realize how educational TikTok really is and how much it's moving information forward. That's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like as a community, sometimes we always get confused on the bigger picture, right? We see the shiny little object in front of us and don't realize what it is on the back and what they're really doing, right? You take down TikTok, imagine how many people actually learn from TikTok, right? And we talk about this all the time, Ty. Okay, wherever you staying at, that could be taken away. The clothes could be taken away. The cars could be taken away. But what you done learned here can never be taken away, right? You can teach it indefinitely, right? So knowledge is always always going to be the biggest resource in the world. Knowledge, information, right? So, I look at it like that, man. We can't. This man said he watched videos and he watched videos and he watched videos, and a lot of that means he was self-taught, which shows you once again that you don't have to go to a college with a curriculum to be smart. You don't have to go to a college and invest all this money and time and resources to get a good job that pays you, right? Educate yourself in whatever you are doing. And however means you find that information, it doesn't matter. It only matters that you get the information and then put the information to use.
Absolutely. I would just say something on the TikTok shit. That's national security. The only reason I would say that, and I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, is just what are they doing with our data? And I'm not going to make it TikTok specific.
Yeah, but look at Meta. Look at Meta. Meta got sued.
No, you're right. But I'm saying across all platforms, right? It's a platform that provides you a product for free.
Yeah.
So what the exchange is your data, your information, knowing what you like, knowing what your interests are, and they sell it to a bigger conglomerate. That's what that information was with the meta joint with the help the election, right?
Meta, right, exactly.
It is knowing all of our shit. So
right.
I just want to put that out there. It's just, if we know we social media, we're going to put out there. Yes, it has a great benefit, but we also have to think about our data. Our data is the bigger picture. For everybody that's listening, our data is what matters, right? It's your first party data. It's like us giving away our shit to our website of OTB Digital and morethanuntitled.com to somebody else, and they know exactly what happens on our website. That's a big competitive advantage.
No, it is, but my thing to just any of that is every website does that. You understand what I'm saying? I haven't met I haven't seen a company that's gotten to a certain level that hasn't gotten scrutinized some way, somehow for the same exact thing, bro. I'm just being honest with you. The question is just who owns Meta and then who owns TikTok. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference?
Why are we stopping at Meta and TikTok? Who?
No. I'm just right. No, I'm just, you know what? I'm just giving an example because the two biggest I think social media platforms right now, I think, is LinkedIn and TikTok. I think it's LinkedIn and TikTok. They run 1 and 2 as far as like number. No, see, there's the balloons,
Look
baby.
at the motherfucking balloons. What the fuck was that?
I'm celebrating over this motherfucker. See, I'm pardoned, baby.
Motherfucking balloons popping on his head. I don't like it. I like it.
We're just talking like the two biggest as far as like user wise. If you think about social media in general, right? I haven't really met a social media platform. I keep saying Matt. I haven't experienced a social media platform that wasn't technically free right off the back, right? And we're not thinking about the back end. What does it take to run a Facebook? What does it take to even build a Facebook, right? What does it take to build MySpace? What all these platforms that we sign up for and we use and we love and we use them for our benefit and they skyrocket people's careers, et cetera, et cetera. You never sit down and think about how much did it actually cost to build this thing? How much does it cost to run this thing monthly without any glitches and without any... So I'm just saying, like, if we're going to talk about it, you know, I'm just saying, like,
I'm with you. That's why I brought up the Ashley Madison shit earlier. 135 million users and it got hacked. And you sit there thinking, why? Because you paid it limited for the interactions and all that. It was a limited barrier to entry. And guess what? They didn't care about security. And now all your shit is on Front Street. And you know how many marriages got killed because of that shit?
Yeah, but let me keep it 100 with you, though, Jarrett. Like, you know how many emails I've gotten from the bank? Like the actual bank that I have my mortgage with, right? Or the bank, oh, unfortunately, we had a data breach. You get the email, some information.
I get that from Credit Karma, all of them do that.
Thank you. So my thing is, what's the difference then? That's a financial institution. What's the difference?
I'm still scared. That's what I'm trying to say. What the fuck are they doing with our data?
No. I'm not saying don't be scared. What I'm saying is, in the age of the information technology superhighway days of which we are living in now, what I'm saying is, let's just be more cognitive of what the government is actually trying to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because if Ty can go on TikTok, you can go on YouTube, I can go on another platform, and we can learn something for free, technically, right? Because all these platforms offer a premium service, but 9 out of 10, we all use the free service, right? So if we can just watch an advertisement, press skip, whatever the case may be, learn all of this information for free. What does that do to the financial institutions that now depend on paid education?
Now you're cooking.
You understand?
You're cooking.
You know why I say this, Todd? Because we do our research on this. I've been to college. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't go to college until after I was already successful. I didn't become successful because I went to college. I was successful already, high 6 figures, and then I went to college only as to show my kids, my 2 sons, that it's never too late to go to school and still get an education, and then to reinforce the book knowledge of what I already understood, the theoretic knowledge of what I already understood in real time. You understand what I'm saying? But I also understand what college is. It's a financial institution that makes its money off of tuition, people living on campus, and all the services that they provide there and such. You take a lot of these students away because now they're learning for free. And guess what happens to the numbers of people enrolling in college? Down. Guess what college also has a great partnership with? Credit cards, right? Where's some of the most student debt? Where's some of the most debt from credit cards come from? Students. because before you even understand financial literacy, they're giving you a fucking credit card. So all of these conglomerates are working together. So when you start see a decline in one, it's a decline in all of them. And that's what they don't like, because now it's affecting their bottom line.
That's a fact. But and I want to go what you saying, Ty, about all the companies, right?
Well, I mean, when you brought up companies, I was just saying, I mean, just in general, I mean, we don't, like, if I were to ask anyone, people in the industry, I would say, like, hey, name, like, 5 Black-owned billion-dollar tech companies. Most people would just, like, look at me. They might name 2 or 3, but most people can't name 5.
Shit, I can't even name one. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Calendly.
I can't even name one. I can't even name one.
Calendly has a CEO. I don't know if he is Black owned.
Yeah. Calendly's one. Yeah. So you got Calendly. There's a couple of government contractors that technically you could count them as tech companies. Like there's Fearless. There's Aisha Bowie's company Stemboard. There's a few, like you could get to 5 or 6, but it stops there. It's a hard stop. But you have to realize, like, there's $1 trillion companies that are out there right now. That's billion. Like that's with a B. There's $1 trillion tech companies that are out there. So, when we're thinking about, like, just going back to the curriculum that you mentioned, we're teaching a lot of these kids, like, hey, get an iPad. This is how you use your iPad. This is how you use your Google account, your Apple School account. We're teaching them how to use the service, how you use the internet, but we're not teaching them how to build it. Like, we're not teaching them on the ground. Like, how do you put up a cell phone tower? How do you broadcast a cellular signal, 10 miles away? Like, how do you do all that? And these
you cooking right now, bro.
So if we don't know how to do all this stuff, then we are doomed to just be the frontline employees at these companies. Going back to the call centers, right? When I was at the call center in Vegas, it was a bunch of people that looked like me. It was 50% African American in that call center. When I went up to the enterprise level, and actually met these partners, go to these conferences that now I have to go to now in the industry, where there's 10,000 people showing up for the Channel Partners Expo in Vegas. Look it up. I'll give anyone a free ticket to the Channel Partners Expo in Vegas if they reach out to me. Like, there's free tickets available for various people.
Send us the link. We'll put in the YouTube and all the links. So we'll make sure people.
Yeah. You go out there and I challenge someone to count more than 20 African American people at that conference.
Message.
I challenge anyone to go to anything channel related, and channel isn't just telecommunications, it's everything. It's your whole technology, it's your whole tech stack. Go to any of these events, these conferences, and find one, like, please find one that has more than 1% of African Americans in that room. Like, it literally doesn't exist right now, because going back, to the school, we don't teach these kids that this exists. There isn't even an internet 101 class that's mandatory for students.
Message.
But check this out, right? If I, now that I'm a partner, away and I became a partner, so I'm an independent partner right now, starting my channel journey as a partner. If I can build up my company, and now I have kids, now guess what? Those kids are going to now learn Internet 101 at 5 years old. They're going to learn Internet 102 or 103. They're going to learn every possible thing from watching what I do. By the time they're 18, they're going to be ready to start their own company. So when you go to these places, Utah, Colorado, and all these other locations, you see all these big IT companies, and you talk to the founders. How did you get into this? A lot of them will say, oh yeah, like my parents had a company, my dad had a cybersecurity company. Like, look to see who won ChannelCon Company of the Year from CompTIA, like the cybersecurity company of the year. Like, literally, she'll say like my dad's cybersecurity company. So like, if we're not planting those seeds and like even promoting having a tech company, if 99% of our people are engaging in tech on employee and not founder, we don't have a good balance, like, we're not going to create that ripple effect of producing more founders and more innovative founders. Every generation is going to get better. What I can do in the channel side is going to have a finite limit. The next generation can do a whole lot more, especially starting out younger than I did. So yeah, I mean, like when I look at all this and I look at like success and I look at like what I'm doing, like I look at just that single metric of like percentage of tech company ownership, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. It's not even about software or anything like that. I mean, like, let's just talk about technology. Like, forget even tech software. Talk about technology, mechanical technology.
Yeah.
Planes, cars. I mean, like, what stake is there even stake in ownership in all of this? And there isn't right now. But we have an opportunity to, as you said, we have all the knowledge. TikTok, you have YouTube. You can literally go on YouTube and figure out, watch videos on how to build a car from scratch. You know, how to build a computer from scratch, and then how to go sell that. I mean, like, I was watching a documentary yesterday that talked about like how Steve Jobs and Wozniak, before they made Apple, the device that they were actually building and selling was like a device that allows you to make free international calls. It was a way to hack the phone system. It was like a hacking device. Same way how we used to have the black boxes for cable. Like they gave you all the free channels. They
no,
had
wait, don't say used to, Ty. We still got those.
yeah. I know.
You talking to the hood, Ty? Yeah,
Yeah,
we must have fucking people. People. I don't know if any people got cable right now.
Fire sticks. The resale market on them Fire Sticks, Amazon ain't never thought them Fire Sticks was gonna do what they was gonna do. You might have sold 5 billion Fire Sticks. You kidding me?
Shit.
Yeah, but if you look at that, like that stuff didn't start in our neighborhoods. Like Steve Jobs and Wozniak were building those types of devices, you know, out in Northern California back then. Like that was what they built to get the funding to build their first Apple computer. Like they were selling hacking devices for phones that people were using to make free international long distance calls. And so like a lot of the stuff that sometimes we demonize in different communities is celebrated in other communities, and we have to kind of change up the framework. Like when kids say, "I don't want a boss," you know, like you know, "Mommy, you got 3 jobs. I don't want to live a life like you." Like, "Daddy, you know, I barely see you. You're working 12 hours. Like, I don't want a boss. I don't want to work for these people." Now we're like, "Oh, this kid's at risk. We gotta put this kid, you know, here, or we gotta do something because he doesn't want to work for anyone. He needs to work at Walgreens. He needs to work at CVS." Or like we force that stuff down these people's throats, not realizing that in certain communities, when you go to other neighborhoods, it's, "Hey, I don't want to work for anyone." It's like, "No, you shouldn't. You know, let's help you out and get you into like an entrepreneurial program. You know, let me show you how to start up your first business. Let's talk about LLCs versus C corps, and let's."
We hit the button at the same time, at the same exact time.
Neural link, kid. It's
Yo,
the
bro,
neural.
we hit the button at this. He hit the bell. I hit the fucking message at the same time.
It's the neural link, son. It's the neural link, son.
If you wasn't saying some shit, just know that you were saying some shit.
So, you know, that's, you know, again, we're gonna keep. This is what this platform is for, Ty. I'm going
Message.
I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep fucking saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it until it sticks. With our people, we gotta see it, we gotta hear it to believe it. We gotta keep pump. This is why we're falling behind, because the lack of knowledge, the lack of resources. We don't know. And in the career fairs, they're not saying shit like that. You see? And in the community centers, those programs that to allow you access to that at a younger age doesn't exist.
Message.
You know what exists now? You want to teach gender in school. You want to teach gender in school. So 5 and 6 year olds that don't even understand fully, their brain is just starting to fully develop. But it's important for you to teach the importance of gender, but you're not even still teaching cursive handwriting. You gotta watch what they're doing to us.
Message.
You gotta watch what they're doing. It's not, you think that's not by accident, Todd. This shit is deliberate. Because the more social media we pay attention to, the more we scroll, the more fucking funny shit, the more memes we pay attention to, the dumber we get, right? The less we pay attention to, the more important things that are going on, right? Like sidebar, everybody's talking about the Kendrick Drake beef. Oh, Kendrick Drake, that shit is the #1 trending thing, but nobody else is still talking about what's going on in Ukraine, and nobody, you understand what these people fucking the genocide of a race. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, this shit is done very strategically to once again wave the shiny thing in front of your face to get you to forget about all the atrocities and all the other shit that they doing to us behind our back. That's why we gotta have people like you come on and say, yo, this is possible, and not for one show, but now we're in the hundreds of shows, right? And then we're gonna and the 300s, and we're gonna keep fucking hammering this shit home until we start getting these programs moving so that we can make this shit better for the future generations. Other than that, we are in serious fucking trouble. Because guess what? Internet is moving. Now technology is moving. So all of those jobs that require manual labor, not much intellect, they're gonna be replaced by eventually machines.
Message.
Now, if you don't have the education to build the machine, troubleshoot the machine, fix the machine when it breaks down,
invest in the machine.
Thank you. Talk to me, cuzzo.
No, you're talking that shit.
I'm just saying, right? Why not own the company that builds the machine? Why not owns the company that programs the machine? Why not a service is the fucking machine? This is what we're talking about, right? If we do not evolve into what is happening with the world and the way the world is evolving, then you're gonna get the homelessness in San Francisco. You're gonna get the homelessness in United States. You're gonna get the homelessness all over the world. Why so many immigrants and stuff, people are coming in, because this is what's happening. No resources, no education, and people are dying to try to survive. It is what it is.
That's real.
It is what it is, Ty.
That's motherfucking real.
You understand? And the crazy shit about it is, I'm gonna keep hearing this shit. The world prints money. It prints it literally through a fucking printing machine, which means the world will never run out of money.
Message.
There's enough money for everybody to live a certain sort of way. How can you have a medium? Look, Ty, watch this. How can you have a medium income? Hayes put up a medium income. How can you have a medium income of between 42 and 195, right? And San Francisco is not, by county, San Francisco is not the richest county in the United States. It's
Absolutely not.
It's not even top like 5. It's not even like top 5, right? How do you have that? And where's the outrage? There's no outrage behind that. They're telling you in this area, the community and the people that live here live this kind of a way. So what I'm saying is, why can't you just duplicate that? If it's not a problem out there, then it shouldn't be a problem out here.
Yeah.
The question is, how do we duplicate that? How do we duplicate that success rate? That earning rate, right? And it's got to be through education. It has to be.
That's real shit.
Yeah, but I think that the other piece too, I mean, like with education, like there's a piece of confidence that comes in there, because if you're going to now go out and educate yourself, because for example, in any random city in America, there's someone walking around in some hotel district, staying at that hotel that's, making millions of dollars, that just flew into that city, to do some business deal or whichever. That person's sitting right there in the lobby of that hotel. Go to any Marriott in America. You'll find someone sitting in the lobby that's about to do a deal that makes millions a year.
Message.
You have 2 options. You could either go up there, talk to that person, risk embarrassing yourself, but still talk to that person, or you can just sit there and just let that person go. And if we look at a lot of the stories, like a lot of people look at like Pursuit of Happiness, and they don't realize like that story started when he broke his mold of what he normally does and says, you know what, that guy in the Ferrari, I'm going to talk to him. And that's the thing that doesn't happen. And when I say it doesn't happen, like I as you all know, like I go to a lot of conferences now, like conferences. I'm in different cities all over, bouncing around. I can't even count how many planes I've been on, and you'll be surprised. Like I'm in locations, and I'm just like, I'm with people that literally have enough knowledge to really change people's lives, trajectories, all of that, but we are typically the ones that have to like reach out and make that conversation and start it and say hello and do, especially like for example, like if you walk into a retail store or whichever, that retail worker isn't going to be like, hey, like, what do you do? Like how do I get from this retail store that I'm in to what you're at? You have to provide that. And I can speak to that because I was one of those people. I was working at Radio Shack with people that were making tons of money coming in and out of that place. I didn't realize all these engineers and, CTOs and all of that, all these super technical people were coming in and out. All the answers I needed were right there. And for 7 years, I never asked the questions that should have been asked. I was seeing the Mercedes coming in. That was the first time I ever saw a black card. The guy with the black card. You would think I would ask them, hey, like, you know, obviously you did something with this card. I would love to know just some tips and tricks, or love to sit down with you, or whichever. And whether like the average close rate, in any sales is what, 20%, whatever. Like I could get 80% no's, and just 2 people saying yes would have changed everything. But I didn't ask the questions. I didn't have the confidence to ask the questions. I saw myself as like, I'm just a lowly Radio Shack guy. I got my college shirt. I got underarm stains. I got
but you're put on a no. We're gonna you forced us to go down the rabbit hole. Why is it like that? All 3 of us in that situation, right? We have sat here. I've worked on deals for 3-4 years to get something, and the patience that it takes, the know-how, knowing when to reach out, all that shit matters, man. And you just said that, and like we let so much value walk out. I was a waiter, bro, before I got into sales. I waited tables for my son, Tracy Morgan, a lot of different celebrities, and da. Guess what? I did the same thing. But you know what I did, though? It was different. Regardless who the fuck they were, I tried to provide the best experience possible. Right? So if you came to BBQs, you fucking knew it was me. I would wait. I would have tables for 45 minutes wait. I don't care who you were. I don't care if you're hungry. They would say, nah, I want Jay.
That's
you
a
know
fact.
why?
I can attest for that.
You know why? Because I created an experience. I don't care. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. You might have been 19. I would tell you straight up and down. Show me a motherfucking Metro card. I know you here with your girlfriend. You know what? But you're gonna do the right motherfucking thing when you here with me. I will let you rock. I will do the thing, and I'll put my job on the line to make sure you have a great fucking evening. But guess what? You're gonna make sure you show respect, and you're gonna show love to me. And if you do anything out of character, I'm gonna check your ass immediately.
Yeah, it is.
Straight up and down. And they would show me a Metro card, and I would have lines out the motherfucker. Lines out the motherfucker. They used to call me numbers and dubs. I would get $20 tips and numbers. If you was out there, you single women, I would get your number. I'm getting $20 tips. I don't care if you had a $40 bill. That's what it was. And it's creating an experience. And that's a skill set that can be translated to enterprise sales.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a mental piece of it if you really think about it. So like the thing that I've been saying, especially a lot lately, after going to all these different conferences and all that, talking to all these different people, face to face, and getting to conversations with people that are billionaires, people that are like, hey, I'm just breaking into tech, just trying to get my first job, right? Like some of the juxtapositions. And what I'm realizing is that people just need to be just a little shameless. Because I think that we all walk around with a certain level of shame, whether it's, I have shame because of where I grew up. I have shame because I didn't, go to the career path that I wanted to. I lost this job, or I don't have this in my account, or whatever it is. And like that shame, people like wear that in their behavior, and they walk into these situations where all this shame, it's like people can just drop that shame and just go out there and just act like you, and just not even act, like just know that you are that person regardless of what your situation is. You're a human just like any human. You have the right to talk to whoever you want to talk to. You see this person, they're obviously doing something that you would love to do. You have a right to go out and talk to them. It's a free country. They have either respond or not respond. But if they don't respond, it's going to look bad on them, not on you. So give them the ability to be the bad guy. Put the ball in other people's court. Like ask people for help and put the ball in their court. But a lot of times we don't do that because of that shame. If we can get rid of that, sky's the limit. I mean, like we're now seeing this whole thing, 2024, the implosion of all these celebrities. All these celebrities have all these scandals, right? But to think that these people were walking around so shameless, doing all of those things that they were doing, that we're seeing in all these different newspapers, the Vince McMahons and the Diddy's and all these people, right? But literally to now the next day walk into an award show like I'm on top of the world, right? That whole thing of not having shame. Some of these people got to where they got to because no matter what stuff that they're in, you look at some of our former presidents are like, oh yeah, I was in debt $10 million. You look at people like Kanye, like, I had nothing, I had 15, they acted the same way. No matter what they had, they were the same way. And sometimes we don't act the same way in situations. You know, when like there's that whole thing of like on Fridays when you get paid, now you're acting totally different than how you were acting on Thursday. You know, so it's like you know what I'm talking
No,
about.
you gotta use the big, no, that's the small example. Use the big example. Income tax time.
Oh, income tax, crab legs, or April and May.
Yeah. It's like you have to
income tax check. Oh, you acting funny. Oh, you got that refund.
I'm getting out my teeth.
Now the whole thing, right, is you don't spend the same way, right? You're not spending money the same way, but you're communicating and you're presenting yourself and you got the confidence in the same way, regardless of what your situation is. Because at the end of the day, like when I go to these different events I have to go to now, these golf events, these golf courses, I'm seeing all these people walking around, and especially when I was on the partner side. So when I was on the partner management, or when I was a channel manager, I worked with all these partners. I knew all the ins and outs. I knew what partners were making money, I knew what partners weren't. But when you go out and you see them interact, they're all interacting like they're on top of the world, and they're all like, you know, moving like they're all multimillionaires. There were plenty of multimillionaires. There were plenty of people that were just getting started, but they knew how to move regardless of what their situation is. I think sometimes we don't know how to move regardless of what our personal situation is. And I think that comes with just putting whatever that shame is to the side and just rock and rolling in the same way, like get a little cavalier or chevalier or whatever the word is, and just rock.
Message.
But Ty, you know what it is, and this is one of the things that I will eternally be grateful for growing up in poverty has done. Like, I don't have any shame. Like that, I'm like Eminem from 8 Mile. Like, I could diss myself. Like, there's nothing that you can actually say to me that's gonna hurt me that I haven't already acknowledged that I've already been through. So you understand what I'm saying? And growing. So that's one of the only good things about, and just hear me out. The struggle we got as a people, we were oppressed, we were enslaved. It was the struggle. The struggle forced that type of grind, that type of mentality. What we're seeing now is the problem of the success rate that done shot up in our community, and now our children being born not into that struggle, being born into the gimme, I deserve this, I just want this.
Technology,
you understand what I'm saying? Right. So that's why I say education is so important, because education technically is experiencing something, right? If you watch the video, you don't like, oh, here, perfect example, right? So I say to kids all the time, can you teach me how to walk? Anybody, can you teach me how to walk? And they go, of course I can. Go, but how can you teach me? Oh, because I know how to walk. There you go. You see the confidence right there? Once you know something, you know it. Now, to the level of what you know it is, that's a different story, but you know it, right? So, and this is in real time. My cousin came to me a year and a half ago and said, I want to start a business about podcasting. The first thing I said out my mouth was, I don't listen to podcasts. I don't know nothing about podcasting. You see? But what I do know is I know business. Now, I don't have an MBA, I don't give a fuck about all that. I've opened up 4 or 5 successful businesses. I've helped other people open up successful businesses. I know business. I know lines of credit. I know this. I know that. I can at least get us to here.
Message.
What we do after we get here, shit, we're going to have to figure it out. But I can take us from here to at least here. But that's with the education. That's with the experience. It's the confidence in, I know what I know. You know, for me personally, and my cousin knows this, and I'm a vouch for him. Yeah. When we get around celebrity, we hang out around billionaires. Be clear. We hang out around multimillionaires and billionaires. And the one guarantee you they all say about us is we always act the same way.
And we don't ask for nothing. It's genuine from the heart. You know,
but
that goes back to sales.
Yep, the way we are in real life. Whether we in a meeting with you guys, whether we at a social event with you guys, it's the same way. You know why?
Dress the same, look the same, we act the same, we ask the same questions. It is what it is. What you gonna do?
We are comfortable at the state and the level that we are. We're not pretending to be anything that we're not. So we walk in the room as us, always us. I don't get starstruck. You understand what I'm saying? Because I look at a celebrity as, okay, a lot of people know you. You got some money, but Like I said, you put your pants on the same way I put my fucking pants on. You do everything you do almost in a day is the same shit I do. You brush your teeth the same way, you shower, everything is almost the fucking same. The only difference is resource-wise, you might have a little bit more resources than me. Why would that make me uncomfortable? But again, everybody, it's the experience of life, that education. Everybody doesn't live that same life. That's why they go through things differently. You understand what I'm saying? And we preach being your authentic self, Ty. We preach that shit.
But to give it, but it's the appreciation. What you said with them so positive and so impactful just now, bro, was the appreciation for what it is. So you and I are working and busting our ass every Tuesday and Thursday and Monday through Friday to fulfill our dream. Not everybody's doing that. So when they get to around that celebrity, it's like, holy shit, you can change my life like that. And what can I do to make you change my life? When you and I are looking at like, motherfucker, I'm going to see you next year anyway. I'm going to see you next month, next week. I'm going to see you next day. You know what I'm saying? It's a different mentality. And that's what we're trying to preach to y'all. It's the mentality. We didn't know we'd fucking do a lot of shit that we did. I'm just being honest with you. We said it. We did it. Did we have the best action-oriented plan around how we're going to meet these people? No, we said we want to do it. However it happens, it happens. We're going to get there at a certain time, and we're going to work that motherfucking room.
You tell them what you did, though, Jay. Don't
affirmations.
No.
Affirmations.
Yeah, affirmation is good, but let me count.
We put in the work.
No.
Talk
Ty,
about it.
be clear, Ty. When we go to a lot of these events, right? Me and my cousin will come up with a game plan. But you know what executes this game plan? The fact that he'll walk up to anybody and I walk up to anybody and introduce ourselves, like you said.
That's the same thing.
Listen to me. The way we have gotten a lot of our guests on this show is by walking right up to them and starting a conversation.
Or DMing them and like, what's up? Why aren't you on the show?
And guess what? 2 years of no's, Dr. Knows, Beyonce's father, 2 years of no's, the one yes, now you come on the show, now you coming on the show again, now we talking business. See what I'm saying? Because it's okay, you said no big deal. I'll see you later. Maybe it's
bigger than the no.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's no now, but maybe it's yes next month when I'm at a different level. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like you said, it's being unafraid of just asking a question, because if you say no to me, Ty, like you said, I put the ball in your court, right? Me and my cousin, we go out, we talk to a lot of people. If they say no, or if they promise something and they don't do it, no problem. We did our job. We did our part. You didn't come through with what you said you were going to come through with. But once again, what that provides for us is education and experience. So now when we walk in these rooms, we can't be uncomfortable. We done did this 100 times already. We done did this shit week after week, month after month. If you watch the very first podcast from when I came on in season 3, how our interaction was, me and my cousin, just the podcast alone. You're on mute, cousin.
No, what I'm saying, to now,
the show is completely different. You know why? As again, I was new to it. I didn't know what to expect. He had the coach, cousin, this way, that way. You know, the goods and the bads, right? But once you get the education and the understanding, then you become more comfortable in your day-to-day. And that's what we want people to understand this, man. You want to be successful? Here's the key to success. Dedicate yourself to something, any fucking thing. Playing the piano, recycling, it doesn't matter. You can be very successful in anything you want to be successful in. But it does take time. It takes education and experience to progress yourself in any career that you want to progress yourself in. The problem is the IG generation, the instant gratification generation, you want it now.
Message.
Want it now. You don't want to put in the work. Everybody want to be rich. Nobody want to work hard for it.
What do you do when you got 2 views?
There it is.
3 views. 40 views, and we got rent to pay.
Or 0 views.
0 views.
And you
what do you do?
Going.
It's you, your mom, and your girl. What are you gonna do? Do you still believe? Do you still believe in yourself? Are you really that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it does. And that's what me and my cousin went through the last 2 years. If that's the message. We've went through every single emotion. We've had billionaires, millionaires, doesn't matter who we have, right? We've had great people, and guess what? We stayed the same to every single body.
Fact.
Nobody that's come on the show can say anything about us.
You
got something in the city, we pull up. You need something, we pull up. Now, what you do on the back end of that, of us showing love, is up to you.
There you go.
And that's what we do. But what we're trying to do with this podcast is show that anything is possible if you put in the work, bro. You put in the work. You went across. Come on, cross country.
You uprooted your life.
Your entire effing life.
Yeah, man.
Didn't know this, and you went on. But you guess what you did? You bet on yourself.
yourself.
You believe.
There it is.
You fucking believed.
There it
I don't
is,
care
man.
who I'm with. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be motherfucking Batman. I'm gonna form a Justice League,
but
and
guess
I'm gonna
what?
solve problems.
But you could be a Batman. You could be a Batman. But here's the other message: it's okay being a Robin. Be clear.
Message.
Most
True.
people in this world, I don't care if you want to hear it or not. Most people in this world, there's two types of leaders. There's trained leaders and natural born leaders, which means the majority, like the 1% is rich and everybody else is. Most people in this world are followers, and there's nothing wrong with being a follower. The problem is, who are you following?
Message.
Yeah. See,
That's
talking that shit. He's talking that shit, Ty.
That's the thing. See, Ty, if you come to me and you like, yo, Chatty, listen to me. I'm a da. Guess what? If it gotta make sense though. It gotta make sense because I'm not a person that falls for the bullshit, right? So when my cousin came to me, and a lot of people ask me this, like, yo, why your cousin? Why him, man? You could have did this shit with anybody. I said, because I believed in him, because what he said and the way he was moving made sense. He made me a believer. And he's the host of the show, and I'm the co-host. So technically he's Batman and Robin.
No,
So,
the
but-
motherfucker Batman and Superman.
But
We the
it
Justice League
doesn't
of
matter.
this motherfucker.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Ty. We talk about that pride. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. You understand? Because at the end of the day, we still doing it together. At the end of the day, we're still doing it for the culture, and we're still providing what we want to provide and give back. So it doesn't matter what. You gotta get off.
More importantly, no. Fuck the business shit. Fuck the business. This is important, right? I love this brother. I love my cousin regardless. Whether this shit pops, whether it tanks, whether we together, whatever it does. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I'm riding with him. You know what? We do this shit. We did this shit. You know how many episodes we did that weren't recorded? That was in Cancun, that was in Jamaica, that was in the club, that was in anywhere, the studio that we did not film. And I'm like, holy shit, I wish I had that recorded. To say, yo, you know what? I'm willing to bet on my brother. My brother's willing to bet on me because you know what? He know I'm gonna wake up at 8:30 every fucking day and call him like, what's up? What we doing? Or vice versa. And we're gonna rock out. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But guess what? The message is bigger than both of us.
But I don't think you can dedicate yourself to something. My personal belief. I don't think that you can dedicate yourself to something and actually really do the work and it not work. Just hear me out.
Okay.
Can we account for things that we can't account for? A pandemic? Absolutely not, right? The fucking planes hitting the trade center and shit. Can we account for lifing? No. But before lives, you still set yourself up in position to be marketable. You still set yourself up in position to be employable. This is the difference. You understand what I'm saying? So once again, like if I walk into anywhere, I don't, like I said, I did 20 years construction. Be clear. Like I don't give a fuck. Nobody can't tell me absolutely nothing. Before I went and learned the theoretics of construction, the book, since I did the work as a laborer, hands-on, all the way up through shop steward, foreman, superintendent. I worked my way up. So you can't tell me a fucking thing. I could point at buildings and be like, I did that building. I did that building. I built that building. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have the experience behind it. So, you know, again, when you got that kind of, you know, fortitude behind you, you move differently. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's the other podcast because they know. Listen,
they know you. They know. They like, yo, they fucking cooking. They took 4 viewers, 5 viewers, 20
yeah,
viewers.
I gotta get tired on your own. We're not recommending them. We keep telling you, stop calling. Listen, what I'm saying, Ty,
you're embarrassing yourselves.
You made yourself marketable to anybody, right? Because you educated yourself and you got the experience. But now, for the 1-2% that can take it the next step, you like, after all this experience and after all this education, you like, well, I made a good living. I made a good living for this person, but why am I working for somebody else when now I know so much of this shit and I done seen all the mistakes on somebody else's dime? I could do this shit my motherfucking self now. Yeah. You see what I'm saying, Ty?
And I can bring in people that look like me.
There it is. And so now that's what I'm talking about. When I was in, I don't care, bro. See, and I don't make excuses for it. When I'm in charge, my team looks like me. I don't care. Now, if there's somebody else that's just super qualified, that's fine. But predominantly, I'm going out looking for us. See, that's another thing we don't do. When we get in position, we don't protect us and we don't reach back and help us. We get in position and we go, oh, it's not enough of us. It's not enough of us. And then when it's one of us, you're like, all right, that's enough. Close the door. We don't want it to get too crowded in here. You see what I'm saying? Because now, Ty, you come up, we come up, we're successful together. We can share this information. This is, be clear, Ty, this is just the beginning of this podcast when I'm talking about where we are now. When you see the next stage of the evolution of this podcast, and if I'm lying, and when you meet me, you can tell me, yo, you're lying. But I promise you, you're going to be like, yo, you made that shit happen. When you see what we do at the next stage of this podcast, we're going to change the game of podcasting, because already there's not a lot of podcasts, if any, that are doing what we're doing now. But
Message.
at the next level, you're going to be like, nah, this is completely different. I promise you.
No, but let's, I'm sorry, Ty, and we're going to get back into it. But he led the layup, so I gotta fucking jam this motherfucker. Right? So for those listening, right, and I'm gonna give you a quick dialogue, quick monologue, right? We did this shit for 3.5 years. We talking about channel sales in this episode, right? I was in sales for 12 years. I got to a point where I done sold a lot of fucking deals, and I realized I wasn't where I needed to be. And where I ended up being was a 12-person agency. And like, what the fuck? I'm going to reach out to Nike and Uber and we don't have a brand presence. I decided to create my own brand and go on LinkedIn, not knowing what the fuck LinkedIn was. I had 2,000 people from people I worked with, because I jumped from place to place to place to place. Every fucking employee I had was on my fucking LinkedIn. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just talk to y'all. And did something outside the box. Did I think it would be this? No. But guess what? I saw a problem, right? We closed a big ass deal. A pandemic happened, right? Everybody's trying to get you for a meeting. What I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to get you on for my podcast. I don't want to sell you, because guess what? I want to know who you are, because I don't even know if I like you yet. I don't know if I want to do business with you yet. Why am I putting all of my resources in 8 hours of my day trying to find you down if I don't even know if I want you?
Message.
True.
And that's the sales psychology that goes into it. I don't know if I'm going to be cool having to send you an email at 9 in the morning on Monday saying I need something as a deliverable at 12. I don't know. So let's get on the call. Let's get you to like me. And what I realize is that when you like me, my sales rate and my sales ratio goes up 70, 80% because you already decided you wanted to work with me based on information I already gave. And why would I sit here and sell you for 30 minutes when I could sell you every single day until we get to the meeting?
True.
And those are the things that I want us to think of as a people, right? I didn't know that. I just felt something was off. Was I fucking a guru or anything like that? No. I just feel like, yo, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? This is the legacy, traditional way of doing it. And this works for y'all, but this doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I don't want to do that, because guess what? I can sit there and do it. And when I get somebody on, I like the thrill of it. But when I get you on, and what does it mean?
Exactly.
What does it mean? So for every 1,000 email or 1,000 cold call I make, what about the 997 people who thought I was an asshole, that I was interrupting their day, that I was bothering them, they was going to daycare to pick up their kid? All those other things I thought about, I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And now I'm pretty sure you get a time. I'm pretty sure you get a chat. You get the text message. I got a text message the other day. Motherfucker was like, hey, Jarrett, how are you? I thought it was somebody from the club or something. I'm like, yo, what up, my guy? He's like, yo, I'm Chad, and I'm da-da-da, and I'm from sales. And da-da-da, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah.
Yo, Chad, you cut out those some fresh buns or something.
Yeah.
This is not how you do it.
What the is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me?
That was mad funny, though. It was mad funny. He's like, yo, who are you? I'm like, yo, what up, my guy? He's like, yo, I'm Brad from Trust Radius. And I'm doing it. I don't want to fucking talk for you. I got to talk with Chad. And we got an interview in fucking 20 minutes. I don't care about what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, you're
shit,
right. I mean, and you know, going back to you know, the whole thing of channel sales, like when you're independent and you have your own company, you can sell in any way that you want to sell, and that is the whole beauty of it. Like for example, with me, like I have my business, but people that know me, you know, out and about at these conferences, I go to almost every single, you know, black tech conference that I want to go to, because there's no company or whoever telling me that I can't pull up to Afrotech or Render or TechSgiven or any of these events, and I can't go and speak on stage at diverse. Like I go whichever. There's no one telling me that I can't be on this platform. That there's no I don't have to send this to vet to say, hey, can I please get approval to I can sell in any way that I want. If I feel like cold calling, I could cold call. If I feel like going and talking to some commercial realtors and saying, hey, I know you guys are putting up some buildings, who are the people that are coming in? What businesses are coming in there? Here's a schematic of all the internet options that are available, in this location. I'll give you this in exchange for a lead. I can work out whatever. Build my own street team and say, hey, you guys that are in Florida, Dallas, New York, if you see a business that needs internet service, send it over to me. I'll split it with you 50-50. I could build whatever process I want, without anyone telling me what to do. And I could find my own lane and figure out what's comfortable for me, because some people love cold calling, but it's not for everyone. Some people love relationship selling, it's not for everyone. Some people love LinkedIn selling, it's not for everyone.
I gotta get you right there, right? Let's talk about value. Because I saw Cousin face on the value. What the fuck do we value channel sales as, right? If I'm out there grinding, putting foot on the pavement, boots on the ground, I'm making the sales, making a relationship. That's the hard things is the big C-suite level individuals don't want to make. What percentage do we charge at that point? Do you think it's fair now, or do you think it needs to be adjusted? That's real talk.
Yeah, are you talking about being independent, or are you talking about being
I'm independent, right? I got all these relationships. We're doing this podcast, right? I know the VP of this, and the third, right? I want to go to Verizon, Cox, Spectrum, and all these businesses and say, hey, I have these relationships. I want to make something work with you guys, right? What is the actual value of that? And even on another level, right? You're going door to door. They're not going to go door to door. So if you took 50 fucking door knocks to get 3 sales, what is the value of those knocks?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going back to let's take a retail chain. Let's take everyone's, just name whichever restaurant that you have in your head. It could be Chipotle, it could be a large Subway chain, whichever one. If you know that one CTO that lives in some random town somewhere, some suburbs of Arkansas, some suburbs of Oregon, wherever it is. If you know that the person that's making the decisions on what technology they're going to use, even if it's just what CRM they're going to use, what internet service they're going to use, what phone service they're going to use, whichever. If you have that one relationship, the amount of services in that tech stack that you can sell across thousands and thousands and thousands of location, the internet alone, you could have hundreds of thousands coming in residual a month just off the internet. When we add in the phone, when you add in the software service, the CRMs, all of that, it gets to millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. When we talk about Worldwide Technology being a $15 billion company, and when you see on the bottom of their website, it says they're the top reseller of Cisco and Microsoft and all of that, they are selling, they're trying to sell the whole stack to these very large Fortune 500 companies that they're dealing with. But one relationship, a lot of these companies and these partners that I know, they just have one company that they work with. They know one CTO of a major brand, one CTO of Chipotle, one CTO of Fox Restaurants, one CTO of LVMH, one, VP of IT at Coca-Cola, whoever it is. And they're just selling. And the thing is, I want to say they're not even selling, because when I say selling, people think used car sales. This is what they're actually doing. Not even selling. Here's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, I know you're going to be opening up 10 locations of Sephora's next year or next quarter. What are the addresses? And then you get the addresses. Cool. Here are the companies that are available for internet and phone service. Here's the pros and cons between them. Let me know which one you'd want to do. They come back and say, yeah, it looks like AT&T is probably the better one, for these locations, et cetera, et cetera. Let's go with that. All right, great. I'll have AT&T send you a contract, and that's it. And they walk away.
Yeah.
I think you're on.
My fault. How do you decide which specific business or provider to choose for which specific business? Wingstop may have certain challenges that fucking Mr. Pizza, the local pizza shop, doesn't have, right? So how do you determine those?
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, you want to first have a conversation with whoever it is, right? Whatever decision maker, whether it's your message or whichever. You want to start with, and that's the whole thing. there's hundreds of ways to do this. It's whatever way that they're comfortable with. If you're a price kind of person and you want to be like, hey, like, my company basically helps with consolidating, your various bills that you're paying with hundreds of companies, and to make sure that you're getting the right rate, let's just take a look at your spend. Let's see if there's things that we can optimize. Oh, it looks like you're paying X amount of dollars on your corporate cell phones because you're using Verizon. It might be a better idea to use T-Mobile. Are you familiar that T-Mobile has this new plan for corporations where if you have 100+ lines, you could get this rate? And the reason is because when you're signed up with a distributor for free, they give you all this stuff in your email almost every day. You're getting, like all of this marketing material for free and all of these updates directly from these companies. And then so these corporations need you because you are the plug to all of this information, and they don't have time to read all this stuff, but you do because you don't have a 9 to 5. So you just can sit there and read your email and just relay it to your contact and get paid when they make a decision on whichever. You're not forcing anything down their throat. You're just giving them options, and whatever option that they choose, you're getting paid off that. And when you and when they sign that deal, it's not you sending out the cell phones, it's T-Mobile that sends it out. It's not you installing the internet, it's AT&T that installs it, or Comcast, or whoever. It's not you sending them the bills every month to pay. If they go into collect, like, you're not doing anything. You're just getting them to sign the paper, and the company takes over. And you're just getting, so like this is this industry that we're in. Like, there's people that make money, like, talk about 4-hour work week. I've seen 0-hour work weeks. Like, I've seen partners partners like, I'm in Bahamas for the next 2 months. Like, I'm good. I don't need to do business with
I'm sorry, Ty. You said 0-hour work week. Our audience loves that. We love you. We try to get to the back. You fucking my fans. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you say no 0 hours? How is that happening?
Yeah, it's
that residual income coming in.
No, that's the residual. That's the residual. It's making that
crazy
direct relationship, direct correlation to you as a fucking service provider. They need a service, and guess what? You're solving a problem, and you get residual income for the lifetime of the deal.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's literally how it works. And some companies pay up front, which is even crazier. Some companies pay up front.
Whoa. Which ones? Whoa.
Don't say that.
We were not going by audience like that. Whoa, you're gone too far. You ain't gonna fucking skip past that. Who's giving up front, man? You ain't gotta give me everything. So give me one example.
You just said the magic words for Jarrett. That motherfucker about to be on Google for the next.
You shitting me? I'm already on a call with them at 7:30.
So the one service right now that's paying the most out of all these services we've talked about, from software, cybersecurity, anything like that, is essentially the acronym is CCaaS, CCAAS, which is Contact Center as a Service, which is really call center software. So it's a software that you put on your computers when you're working at a call center. It's the software that tells you how many calls are waiting. It's a software that tells you who the customer is that you're talking to. It's a software that connects the customer that you're talking to whatever billing system that you're working with. That particular software, it's made by companies like RingCentral, Dialpad, Five9. Zoom actually makes that software now. There's Genesis, Nice. There's 16 different major companies that sell the software, and almost all of the 16 pay out residual income anywhere from 10 to 20%, but also an upfront spiff as well. And what we're talking about is whatever that monthly bill is. So let's break down a small deal in the industry, which is 100 employees. You have 100 employees in a call center. That software per user is anywhere from $100 a month on the minimum to $300 a month on like the high end. So
per user. Per user. So you get an enterprise brain with 700 employees. That's per user.
Yeah, every single month. The software costs more than the phone that they're using monthly. The software is pricey. So you say you take 100 people in a call center, and then you take $100 per user, and we're talking the most low end type of call center deal. That on a monthly MRR, monthly recurring rate, is $10,000 a month that that company is spending. Let's say you're a bank and that's your call center. The bank is paying $10,000 a month for the call center software. You are the person that sent the lead that, hey, I got this, chief customer experience officer, or I got this customer experience, VP at this bank that wants to get the software. You send that lead over to whoever it is. And now that $10,000 a month, they're going to pay you not just the $10,000, they're going to pay you a spiff, which could either be 10,000 times 5 times 10. Sometimes we're seeing times 15 up front, and then you're getting the actual residual income with that of anywhere from 10 to 20% residual on top of that. And that is a small deal. $10,000 a month is a small deal. Average deals, like this is average deals. This is in the industry. You could go to Genesis is one of the biggest companies. They said that the average deal in this industry is $35,000 a month. So the average spiff in this industry right now is ranging between 8 to 10x. So that means the average payout is basically $350,000, between $200,000 to $350,000 upfront, not for selling, for basically saying, hey, Genesis or Nice or Zoom or Five9, I know the person that runs the call center at this company, and I think they want to change the provider. You should talk to them. You don't. All these companies have their enterprise AEs after your lead for you sending a 1-sentence email. They send their account executives after that lead that you sent over. If they can close it, you get paid. And not just if they close it, whoever closes it. You send that lead with various companies. Whoever closes it, you get paid. Just because you need someone that runs a call center that wants to change their provider. And that is the number one.
No, that's the fucking
it's not you, Ty. It's us. It's us as a community.
Crazy,
us as a community gets that.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
As a community gets that.
I'm excited, but I'm upset at the same motherfucking time. Like, we leaving so much money on the table. Holy shit, bro.
Exactly. I'm like, holy shit. Why didn't I do that?
So when I'm talking about now going to these conferences, so now picture I'm in these rooms now. I'm here. Picture me in Vegas in the Venetian Hotel in these big ballrooms with 10,000 plus people. There's only 20 people in that room that look like me. There's 9,980 people that don't look like me in that room, and majority, over 50% of those people are getting money this way, easy money. Like one time, send an email, send a lead over, and that's it. And like, you just imagine. And the crazy thing is that when you talk to them, you ask them like, hey, so what's your game plan? Oh, my game plan is, next year I'm going to sell this company for 10x revenue. So whatever the annual recurring rate that I'm getting for my residuals, I'm getting $1 million a year off these residuals. I'm getting 1.5. I'm selling this company for 10x that amount. I'm cashing for $10 million. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to start another company. Like last time, I'm sitting across from someone that I was like, yeah, I just sold my company for $120 million.
You're doing a lot right now, Ty. I love it. You're doing a lot.
Damn,
this guy's good. This guy, do y'all understand the shit he's talking?
Ty.
I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. I gotta go for commercial break. Shit is insane, bro. I'm getting excited. I gotta talk to wifey.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I mean, like if you,
Yo, he got the bell. Yo, Ty, you got him going crazy. You got the bell on repeat. Now, you know what it is? I get it. Let me tell you something, Ty. We need to bring this type of excitement. Seriously, man. We need to make success exciting. We need to make success fucking, we gotta make it so that the feeling that you get, like back in the day, we used to beat up the nerds. You know what I'm saying? Like, not beat them up, but like, kick them in the ass. Get the fuck out of here. You got your little pocket protector with your little, and you don't realize that that's going to end up being your boss later. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to reverse that mentality where smart is cool. Smart is the new fucking dope. Smart is the new, no, you need to be that. The dumb motherfuckers is the ones that you should be beating up. Like, you ain't doing it. Get away from us, because that's the only way we're going to change things, man. When people start getting excited and they can see the vision, it motivates them, because the biggest thing that we lack in our community is self-motivation also. One of the biggest things is self-motivation, right? It's the feeling of, I can't do this alone. I can't start it. How many people have had $1 billion ideas, Todd, that never started nothing? Didn't see the idea come out 5-10 years. I thought of that 10 years. Look at the napkin.
Yep.
You understand? somebody, I forgot who just came on the show that says something like, success is given to the guy that executes the idea or something like that, right? But it's like that, right? We are not void of talent. We are not void of inspiration. It's clear. Every single culture takes from our culture. So if we were void of talent or inspiration, you wouldn't be stealing from our culture the way that you're stealing from it. Y'all make so much money from us. How do we flip that narrative to understanding that we actually have all the fucking power? We have the power, we have the knowledge, we have the ability to gain the knowledge and the information and put it out there so that we start saying, this is what we need to do, and we change the directive, right? It's frustrating to me, Tom. I got 2 boys. You have any children?
No. Yeah.
Okay. I got 2 boys, Ty. My oldest is upstairs. He's 22, about to be 23. He's military. He went into the army, and he's enrolling in college and things of that nature. And he wants to do something totally different than anything I've ever done. And you know what I said to him? Go ahead, just be the best at it. You see that mentality right there? That's what we have to get into. Like, I don't care if he wanted to be a fucking violin player. Be the best violin player you can ever be. We have to get into that mentality of supporting our people, supporting our culture, and saying, yo, it's okay to be smart. Like the smart is the new dope person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only then that we're gonna start moving this train forward at a more rapid pace, man, because everybody's just so afraid, man. And everybody is like, so let me tell you what we're gonna do, Ty, just so you know, and we didn't put this out, right? Me and my cousin, we're looking at properties now, but I'm going to put this thing together. I'm going to put this thing together because these conversations are not enough. They're a great starter. They're a great starter, but we're going to put this shit in their fucking face where it's undeniable. Once we get to the next level, we're going to open up a true multi-service center, educational facility, where what we're going to do is we're going to have a curriculum, and it's not going to be like narrow. You understand? We obviously we have to start somewhere, but we're going to start with, let's say 5, 6, 7 different things. How to open a business, how to do this, how to prepare 5, 6, 7 things. And we're going to walk people through from beginning to end. Not a if, not a fucking and, not a maybe. We're going to show them how to do it. We're going to show them how to do the paperwork. We're going to educate them on it. We're going to show them where to get the funding for it. You understand what I'm saying? Get them in contact with people that look like us to help coach them, mentor them, get the funding from them, do business from them. That way the money now starts to circulate back into our community. You understand what I'm saying? And when guests start to come on the show, once we get to the next level, is you're going to get back right on the show. Nobody's doing that. You're going to get back right on the show. Some type of mentorship. Some type of something directly on the show. You want access to our audience? You want to get your message out to our audience? You're going to get back to our audience in real time.
In real time. We're going to bring somebody. We're going to send the link out. Bring them on. Shoot your shot. You got 2 minutes. Shoot your shot.
Elevator pitch or something, but you're going to do something, because what we need to do is to start showing numbers now. See? So imagine now we open up this center and we start showing numbers. And we're gonna start this before we do the center, because we're working on our programs now. But what you're talking about is so important, right?
Facts.
So the free resources, the free this, the free that. You come in, you did the course, boom, it's there. The number's there. We started this amount of businesses. This amount of people started this. This amount of people started that, and it's going to grow and grow and grow to where it's going to get to a point where it's undeniable now. It can't be ignored. And then what we're going to do with that is, once we get it to a certain level, everybody's going to, the people that didn't want to support, then they really going to want to support. And now now let's replicate this in other places to now get this success going. And we have to do this, Ty, because we are leaving way too much money on the table. The only thing I can say is people don't know, Ty.
We don't know what we don't know, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're not in the rooms. We don't own the tech companies. We don't own these conferences. we don't. there. We don't own the cars to get it. Like we don't.
We don't even know about the conferences. You know how many conferences are out there that people don't know about? You know how many conferences that you could get free tickets to that people don't know about? Even if you can't travel from state to state, how about the people that are in that state that can attend that event? You go to it. How about get off your ass, and go learn something. Get off your ass and go experience something. That's like my cousin just told you. There's a lot of guests that come on our show that have events in New York. A lot of them don't even know that we're coming to the event. We surprise them.
We just pop up.
We find out about the event and then go and say, we're supporting you. Guess what? We're here. Thank you for coming on the show, but we're going to show you we can support you too. How can we learn? How can we da-da-da? You see what I'm saying?
It's a different response.
It's different.
Yeah, and also like there's no shame in getting a $50 plane ticket. Like I mean, I fly budget whatever budget airlines I can get, middle seat, whatever, because like going to these places is so important. I mean, like we are only, in America, we're only 4 hours away from wherever you want to go, mostly in the continental USA, typically, 4 or 5 hours away. If you want to get to Denver, talk to some of these IT people that are literally working 1-2 hours a week, sending out leads and getting paid residual income, take a flight over to Denver and go to one of those IT conferences that are going on all the time, or in Arizona, in Phoenix, they're going on all the time. Many of them are free to register to. There's like 5 tech conferences going on in Vegas almost every day.
Quick question, but what are the titles of those people that are doing that? So if somebody is listening to this right now and say, hey, I want to get into channel sales, I want to go to this conference, who do I connect with? What are their job titles? What do we say?
Yeah, so you want to look at anyone that says that they are a solution advisor, a solution provider, a telecom advisor, technology advisor. So those are the partners. The partners brand themselves as advisors of some sort, trusted advisor. That's usually, but they're usually a founder of something. Founder of something technology solutions, blank technology solutions, telecom solutions. But then there's the channel managers. The channel managers are the corporate people that run these referral programs. They are typically listed as channel manager, alliance manager, or partner manager. And a lot of times they're out and about. These people literally like live on the road. Like they're various conferences. They're in your cities. Almost every city has channel managers and all sorts of there's over 10,000 plus channel managers in the USA. Various different companies. Think about like Amazon and Microsoft, and all these companies have dozens of channel managers that essentially are paid to manage these programs in their region. So, and there's partners. There's thousands of partners. Microsoft alone has 64,000 partners, but in the partner ecosystem, there's over 100,000 partners in the US.
4,000 partners just from Microsoft alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Vendors, you're talking about vendors, people that are providing services to Microsoft to help their business progress. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, so people that bring businesses to Microsoft, people that refer Microsoft, which is the easiest product to refer. It's like, hey, I have a business. It might be a good idea for you to have email services. It might be a good idea for you to have this software called Microsoft Word and Excel. I think you might need it. It's the easiest solution in the world. You refer that over to Microsoft, you're getting a percentage, whether that's 8%, 10%, whatever it is, depending on the product. But those are licenses per employee. So now when you talk about X amount of employees in a healthcare company, it scales up.
Quick question then. So what if somebody who's listening to our podcast right now has a brand, they have 100,000 followers, right? How do they negotiate the value of the channel solutions partner, right? So you say, hey, look, I've got 100,000, 200,000 fucking followers, viewers a month, right? I can get you into a trusted audience, and maybe let's say 5%, 10% converts. What is the cost of that versus somebody going in blind?
Yeah, so you're saying if
I'm saying, like, how do you negotiate that, right? You know what I'm saying?
In terms of the percentage that you get,
the percentage that you get being a reseller, right? If you have an audience established already.
Yeah, so the percentages are typically flat across the board. So it doesn't matter.
Audience, regardless of what you have, it's a flat rate.
Yeah, it's a flat per percentage that the company sets because it's coming out of the company's margin, and every company has different margins. So for some companies, it's 10%. Some companies, it's 15, 20. There's somewhere it's like 25%, 30%, because a lot of the smaller companies, they want to get sold. So they're like, hey, we'll give you 30%. Like, I mean, just like with the call center software, the reason why the call center software is paying the spiffs, like they're literally, and to really paint that picture, that upfront amount, they're giving you the first year's money that they're getting from that customer to you. When we're talking, you're getting 12x, you're getting all of those months, all of those bills, it comes to you, not like month by month, one time, like one time, hey, we're going to get this in year one, you're getting that amount. And on a contract, on a 3-year contract, they're getting obviously year 2 and year 3, but they're doing that because there's 16 of those companies and they're trying to basically capture the most market share, because plus call center software companies, there's going to be some companies that aren't going to make it, but they are so pushing on people to sell and get their product in front of people. They're willing to give away a whole year because they want that market share.
So quick question, quick hold, right? For people who don't understand what spiffs are, right? Spiffs is a sales term. So for instance, right, we're trying to hit our number. My number as a salesperson is to hit 500,000 per year, right? Let's say it's December, the second week of December, it's the holidays. We're trying to get as much. We're nowhere near our number. So what we're going to do is do a spiff. It's something to get our sales guys incentivized to sell more product as this time expires, and we incentivize them to do that, right? So a spiff could be, look, if you sell a client right now by Friday, we're going to give you an Amazon gift card for $500. That's a spiff. Right. So it's anything that's incentivized for you to make an additional sale within your time period. So if they're in a place where they need revenue and they're going to provide a spiff, if you're a salesperson, when you hear a spiff, you better fucking get excited. It's like an 11 in blackjack. You double
Message.
Yeah, and so what's happening right now is that partners are selling off their telecom companies, like their companies that are based off of providing internet to businesses. They're selling off those businesses, for X amount of millions of dollars, and they're building new businesses solely around offering call center software. Like that's the new thing that people are doing, and they're taking their money. They sold their business, and they're hiring people that used to be sales executives at these companies like Zoom and Genesis and Nice and all, and they're hiring them, giving them good money, and they're saying, hey, bring your customer relationships with you. So and then go do what you do best and go capture more. So we can then send those leads back to the company that used to work for, so their team can sell it, and then we can get now that spiff, and it goes on and on. But like one of the craziest stories, like for me, and hopefully that this puts this into perspective for people. I'm not sure how familiar with people are of like Antigua and the Hodges Bay Hotel that's out there, but one time I was out there with my wife, and it was for a wedding, and it was like a empty kind of week for them. There were very, very few people staying there. Maybe it was like 3 other couples that were staying. There's big, huge, sprawling oceanfront hotel, and we're there. We're just walking the beach. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and we see one of the bars is open. That was supposed to be closed like 3 hours ago, and it's open. There's a couple that's there sitting there eating pasta, and we're just like, why is this bar open, and who's that sitting there? And we walk up, and it's a couple that's there, like 45, like a white couple, and they're very, very happy, like, hey, how's it going? Like, nice to see you. Like, we're just like, who are you, and how did this bar, like, all these restaurants are closed, like, how'd you get this bar open? They're like, oh, we own the place. We're like, oh, you own this whole... Yeah, we've owned it for years. And they're like, yeah, like, what do you guys do? And I was like, oh, well, I'm in IT, like, I'm a channel manager, and my wife does cloud sales, and they're like, oh yeah, cloud, yeah, IT. So you probably deal with like SD-WAN and stuff like that. And he was like, I was like, yeah, you know about IT? He's like, oh yeah, I used to sell it, IT way back in the day. I used to sell SD-WAN. And what SD-WAN is, for context, it's a modem that allows you to have 2 different internet connections at the same time, and it is like a smart modem that basically chooses what internet service you're going to use for your applications. So he goes through the story. He's saying that he used to sell this service back in 2010 or 2008. Like, he had his own company that was just selling this one product, these smart modems, because businesses have multiple internets, because if one internet goes down, they want to have another internet. Or if their employees are going on Facebook and all of that, they want to use the slower internet for them. When it's facebook.com, send it down the slower internet. When it's business related activity, send it down the faster internet. He was selling those boxes. to various businesses all over, built an entire business off of doing that. And then he ended up selling his company for like it's somewhere near like $120 million to a large company. That there was like some clause that he had to like stay on board for a couple years or whichever. And then from there, takes that money now after his contract is over and is like traveling, in the Caribbean, sees this hotel there on the cliff, is like, oh wow, like, yeah, that seems like a nice hotel. Let's go check it out, see if it's for sale. And goes there. Next thing you know, he takes his money that he has, those cash reserves, buys a hotel, and now this hotel is like one of the top hotels where you have all the celebrities going down. Ashanti does her birthday there every year. You got all these
Message.
you got, like, people the Caribbean community love going to Hodges Bay. We go down there, we post Instagram photos from the Prickly Pear Island and all that, not realizing that this hotel was bought with IT money, like from modems, like smart modems. That's all he was selling. The device that you guys all use for your internet. When you look at your internet right now, you want to turn off your internet, what are you looking at? A modem. He was selling those things, those boxes with the lights that provide internet service, and he made enough money by selling off his modem business to buy that hotel there that we all now spend our money in, because it's mostly like our people going there and turning up and paying $500 a night or whichever to stay at that hotel, but it came from IT money.
Yeah, this was a master class. This was a master
motherfucking class. I'm sorry to get so passionate, y'all. This was what? Oh, you shit, bro. You can't see the Instagram. Instagram is class in session. The LinkedIn is saying class in session. Everybody's saying this. They did not know this was possible.
Yeah.
And thank you, bro, for doing what you do, for passing the information along and allowing us to pass the information along even further along with you, bro. Like, this is real. Like, I've been in sales for 12 years. I never heard this shit. That's why I told you. And to give context to people listening, our first conversation, what did I say? I said, holy shit, what the fuck? I'm like, holy shit, Todd, what are you talking about, bro? This is going to be an intro call. What are we talking about, God? Zoya told me to talk to you, and Caroline told me to talk to you. You talking some next shit. And it was real. I was like, nah, bro, we got to get 21st, please.
No, it was funny. Like they were in Silicon Valley. Like Zoya's in Silicon Valley. Didn't even know about this. Like the frontline don't even know about this. It's not even our community. Like most companies don't, like, they're not incentivized to have all their top account executives go and be partners. Like there's no partner training that we say, oh, hey, you're a great account executive. You'd make more as a partner. We're just paying you once. We're paying you 24 times instead.
Never got that. I've sold some of the biggest products ever in the B2B SaaS, and I never even said it was an option. I'm telling y'all, I've sold millions. Hold up, I said $1 million a product.
Yeah, I didn't like the way the biggest and then B2B.
B2B.
No, but you said the biggest and then B2B. He was very passionate about it. When you said big,
hey yo, hey yo.
You said biggest and then B2B. I didn't like it. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
This is what happens when you try to give information back to the community side.
The tone was off.
The community just doesn't appreciate it. They don't get it.
Your tone was off.
The tone is off. Everything has to be perfect. I'm not perfect.
The way you said biggest and then you emphasize B2B, I didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back.
I'm just saying. I just want to say, Todd, I want to say thank you, brother. If nobody's ever said thank you to you before, I wanna extend my warmest thanks for coming on this show, and I mean that, man. Like you have reinvigorated me, and my work ethic is something to be fucking not trifled with. Like motherfuckers can't outwork me. My normal work day, when I get to it, motherfuckers you're not ready to give up what I'm ready to give up. But you said something very important, and me and my cousin was having a conversation about a certain situation, and you said something important, and it just kind of reaffirmed, right? we got to be in the room, cuzzo.
Message.
We got to be in the room, right?
100%.
No matter what.
At the table.
Look at me, Jarrett. You heard what he said? Even if it's by accident, right? We were meant to hear this message today, right? We talk about the world sending us
Message.
The universe sending us energy, right? Me and my cousin Ty, we were having a conversation about, possibly, not going to a certain conference, right? And we talking about it. We weighing out the options because just you try to make everything be as beneficial and line up as possible. But the message is we got to be in that room, and we knew that. But sometimes you just I don't know, right? I don't know, right? But even if it's by accident, his message was, I walked into the room by accident, and look what developed by him just being there by accident.
Message.
Imagine us being somewhere on purpose. What can happen? With the same energy that we have of not being afraid to talk, not being afraid to approach. So I want to say thank you, Todd, for real. Like I have no problem, man. I have absolutely no problem, and thank you and giving people their flowers, man. I needed to get a conversation today. I fly out tomorrow. I'm bringing my laptop because guess what? We might have a pardon. Even though I'm in Jamaica, if we got a pardon, then I got to work while I'm in Jamaica on vacation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, work will never stop. But I want to say thank you truly, man, because you've reinvigorated me. And I needed to hear this today. And I'm pretty sure if I needed to hear it, a lot of other people that's gonna listen to this interview, they're gonna feel the same way. Like, yo, I needed to hear that, man. People, get in the room. Don't be afraid. By mistake, by accident, you trip and fall, it don't matter. Get in that fucking room to be able to have that conversation about progression. If you, like Chris Brown said, you complain about the club, you can't even get in. You can't even get it. You got to get in the room, people. So if you're given an opportunity, even if it's not favorable, even if it might set you back a little bit, if that opportunity even has this much of an inkling of a possibility to propel your life or your career to a higher status, you got to go for it. Opportunity does not present itself but so often. You got to do what the fuck you got to do. And like a guest of ours that came on, Mario Armstrong, said, free to fee. Sometimes you got to pay those dues, man. Sometimes you got to be an apprentice. Sometimes you got to, you know what I'm saying, take a lower salary to learn what you need to learn, but you're in the room, man. So I want to say thank you, Ty, man. I sincerely, brother, I truly appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Story, man. And I look forward to meeting you in person, man, for real. We want to extend to you the invite that we do all of our guests. You are now a part of the More Than the Title family, right?
Absolutely.
We have over 100 guests. If you have ever seen anybody on this show that you would like to connect with, that you would like to shoot a shot with, or whatever, you just let us know. Do we have Ty's personal number?
Absolutely.
We're gonna start a group chat, Ty, that we do with all of our guests. You're now a part of the More Than the Title family. What we do is we don't gatekeep. Let's be clear. We don't gatekeep at all. If you've seen anybody, and I mean anybody on this show that you want to connect with, whatever, you let us know and we will gladly make that introduction. We let all our guests know that's what we're gonna do. If you're not riding with that, then don't come on the show. See? Understand what I'm saying? Like, plain and simple. If you're not trying to be a part of the community, don't, then you can't come on the show. So if you see anybody that you want to, link up with, you let us know. We'll gladly make that connection for you. Once we do, we step away, and whatever you develop with that connection is on you, because we don't gatekeep, right? And we also extend to you the invitation, man. If you ever in New York, man, we'd love to link up with you in person, man. Break bread with you in person. It could be a conference, or it could be
anything.
We have a lot of our guests show up, man, in New York, pull up on us, and we have a phenomenal time. If you think our energy is crazy here, when you get around us in person, now you're gonna be like, nah, these motherfuckers is different.
Real.
We extend that invitation. Yeah, man, because this is our first conversation on the show, but it will not be our last one. We look forward to building with you, man. We appreciate you.
That's real talk, bro.
Real, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, I really appreciate that, and they saw for having me on. I mean, like this was like just this is a dope platform. I mean, where people can have these real conversations. I mean, like part of me like walking away from my company and going independent was so I can have these conversations. Because most people will just come out and jump on real platforms and have real conversations that really inspire people. Not to say that the corporate phrases that the corporate tells you to say, like just have the real conversations, because what you guys are doing is so impactful. So I'm super excited to meet you both. Like I'm always out everywhere, every city, so I'm excited to invite you out too to some places as well. So I got a conference list website that I have, so I'll share that out to you so you guys can pop into different events. And yeah,
we'll just understand this though, Ty. I'm telling you ahead of time, they call me Pastel Chatty. Be clear. Hold on, Ty. They call me Pastel Chatty. Be clear. When I go to these conferences, I bring the lemon pepper steppers out, the blazer, I bust their ass. And I like the fact that it ain't too many of us, because when we step in that room, you gonna know we in that room. I'm telling you right off the back. A lot of the conferences we go to, the outfit is the conversation starter. Am I lying, Cuzzo?
Nah, man.
The outfit.
We gonna get this shit now.
I mean, turn channel to the NBA. Like channel sales is just where the NBA was at 1950.
Right.
So let's do the same thing.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do
Ladies
it, bro.
and gentlemen, man.
You,
this has been another episode of More Than the Title, man.
Info.
This has been a master class, man. And if this hasn't gotten you excited about success, if this hasn't, be clear, even if you're not thinking about this field, I know you have somebody that that does sales, a child, a friend, a family member that does sales. Pass this information along, man. You understand? Even if it's not for you, because everything's not for everybody. But if you know somebody that could benefit from this, man, we're gonna give you the information that Ty gives us. We're gonna put the link up. You let them watch this show, let them reach out, man, and let them get the resources that they need to take the steps to bettering their lives. Because once you better somebody's life and they get good, then their family ends up getting good. And then you better other people's lives, and it's a domino effect. And now that Ty's stepping out on his own from employee to employer, guess what he's doing now? He's employing other people and giving other people the opportunity to repeat the process.
Message.
What are you talking about, man? What we talking? We're gonna drop the mic with that, man. We got Morgan Ingram on the 23rd, this Thursday, 4-time top LinkedIn sales voice on the platform. Just did a webinar with Calendly, partner with Hootsuite, Calendly, all the HubSpot, you name them, you name the spots, bro. And I'm gonna give you our context. Like, man, me and him was on the same, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, people been asking for this interview to be happening.
So I tell you what I'm gonna do. If it's on Thursday, and I'm gonna be in Jamaica, I'm gonna go get me one of them holy tank top wife beaters with the colors in it. Shout out to Carrie.
Shout out to Carrie on. We love you.
Message.
Be on the beach with a Mai Tai and a holy wife beater Jamaican tank top. Blood fire.
Yeah, that's how we doing it. That's how we doing it all day. And wait till y'all see June.
What's up?
June, I'm gonna let y'all know, y'all. You're talking about what we've done, and from beginning to end. We started this platform. I was wearing my son's headphones, 3rd grade drinks. It was green and yellow drinks. I couldn't hear shit. And that's real talk. And we about to go to the Oscars of advertising. Me and my brother. Are you shitting me? We about to go to the Oscars of advertising.
Ty, you ever been to cons?
Cons?
Yeah.
You said like Carnival or what?
No, Festival of Creativity. The Oscars of advertising, bro.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't been to that one.
Creativity.
It's next month. So it's 2 cons, right? One is this month, is the film festival, and the other one is the Festival for Creativity. That you would benefit from being in that. That's all the big dogs. All the C-suite individials go to the one next month. I'm
talking about channel sales. You would know all the big wigs that can make
where you need to be. Just for example, one of the events that we're hosting is called the CMO Brunch. Google bought that straight out. Bought it straight out. Like, we want to be the only ones that own it. So, we'll send you info on that. But even if you don't make it this year, that's definitely someplace you need to be for what you're doing. It's all the decision makers, plain and simple. And it's about 5 days of conferences and brunches and lunches and parties, and
we're gonna kick their ass. For long story short, we're gonna.
I'm bringing a lot of chapsticks. I'm gonna be kissing a lot of babies out.
Bro, you know how many? We have at least 20 guests that have been out there.
Easily
20 guests that are gonna be out there out of 115 episodes.
Look, already I got 2 chapsticks in my hand already. Look, 2.
What are we talking about, bro? So get there and make it happen. But this year, if you out there and you want to see us make it happen, you're gonna see us. Now you ain't gotta make it happen. You're gonna see us because we're gonna make it happen. Just show love. Show love because we're gonna be out there. And while we do it for us. Who do it for us?
Impact
Who puts up the bread to do it for us?
Impact over metrics, baby.
What we talking about? You can't quantify this. What we do to have Ty on and to have the people that we have on, because that's what we had our mamas on this show. Everybody got a lesson.
Yeah.
And this is what we do. And this is what me and my brother gonna do. We're gonna take the shit to the motherfucking top. We don't care what nobody's saying. We appreciate you, Ty, for what you do, because this platform wouldn't be possible without people putting in the work like you and giving the information back. So we thank you, bro. That's real talk, man.
Just understand when I go out to cons, I'm bringing SPF 8092 or some shit. I'm gonna get that golden look, Ty. I'm telling you right now.
Nigga, I'm going natural. I'm going organic.
He got the light, the motherfucking production light shining right down on him and shit. Like, yo, it's the guard light and shit.
I'm going almond brown.
You gonna give me the skincare for cons, nigga. I'm going out there all.
And this for you, Ty.
I never liked you anyway, pretty motherfucker.
You know we love you, bro.
We're unscripted.
We had to.
You ain't getting it nowhere else like this, man. This is more than the title, man. We will see y'all Thursday, man. We out of here. Peace.
We out of here. Let's get them.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done